What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I got to have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me? This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on, friends and family? I appreciate y'all. Bear down, my Chicago people. We in the playoffs. Thank you, Detroit. Most importantly, thank you to Steelers. I can't even hate, though. I can't even hate. I can't hate at all. Shout out to the Chicago Bears. Where y'all supposed to be moving to? Where's the Chicago Bears supposed to be moving to? AD and the Bag Chasers. What up, Mr. Anton Daniels? Black and gold. Your Lions lost. Yep, we sure did. I can't even hate. Listen, it was a rough year. It was a rough year. I don't even care about the playoffs, to be honest with you. I only care about a possible Super Bowl. So if it's not resulting in a Super Bowl, sorry, y'all, getting some stuff out. If it don't result in the Super Bowl, then what difference do it make? Anton, where are you today? I am in San Diego still. I am in San Diego still. All right. I was supposed to fly back on Saturday. That didn't happen because I was like, you know what? Honestly, the reason that I didn't fly back on Saturday had less to do with the weather and more to do with the inconvenience that came along with it. It wasn't convenient for me to fly back on Saturday. And it's because I had to watch movies for Room 9, for the after hours, for frame fights. I had a lot of business to take care of. I had a lot of videos to record. I had a little movement that I had to make. I probably should have, but I didn't. So I didn't. But I'm going to fly back. I'm still trying to figure it out. I stole this from actually I didn't steal it. It came with my when you fly Delta One, so they got the little Delta thing in the back. And you do the little sleep pods, they'll hook you up, make sure that you get an overnight kit to be able to brush your teeth and stuff. So I took my old stuff and I transferred it into the new one, and so that's what we're doing. But yeah, man, it was just inconvenient, and then you combine that with the weather, so I'm still here. But I'm gonna try to get back. Let me get y'all insight before we get into the show. I got a question for y'all. Was there a blackout somewhere in California near you? I'm going to talk about that. No, it was not near me. It was in San Francisco. San Francisco was different from San Diego. All right. So I switched over from La Jolla and I wanted to come into the inner city. And so now in the inner city, I get to see more of what's happening out here. I see dudes pull their pants down in the middle of the streets. You get to see what's happening in the streets a little bit more. Um, yeah, man, we have a storm tomorrow that's gonna go all week. A storm where? In Detroit? Flying to Dallas, part of your layover to San Antonio. Shout out to you for visiting the family. Man, this airport is booming. So let me get y'all insight. I'm trying to figure out. I got two different flight options. All right. My first flight option is I can fly overnight. It would be like a 1 a.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific flight on Tuesday. So basically, I would like miss half the. I would miss half the show. I would miss half of the after hour show, but they would have to like do the second half of the show without me on Tuesday night, or and then I would get in at like 6 in the morning on Tuesday on Wednesday, or I could fly in Wednesday afternoon. I need y'all insight. Fly overnight Tuesday or fly in Wednesday afternoon after the show. Y'all so selfish. I knew y'all was gonna say Wednesday afternoon. Oh, I knew y'all was gonna say Wednesday. I knew some people not okay. But see, again, I would have to miss like half of an after hours show. Somebody said, do whatever your wife says. I don't know who you talking to. I do what I want to do. Yeah, taking a red eye. Wednesday afternoon, overnight. Y'all got me. I don't even know. Y'all can't even make up y'all mind. Tuesday app should I do Tuesday overnight or Wednesday afternoon? Well, Christopher, both of those options allow for me to do the Millionaire Morning Show. So if I land 6 in the morning, I'm still gonna do the Millionaire Morning Show at 10 a.m. Or if I do the Millionaire Morning Show on Wednesday, I'm basically flying out right after that. You know what I'm saying? So either one, I'm still gonna hit Millionaire Morning Show. Wednesday, we selfish. I'm gonna make a decision. Hopefully, before the end of this show, I'll let something hit me. All right. Um. You know what though? You know what? If I get to the airport early enough, I might be able to do it from the Delta Lounge. If I get to the airport early enough, I might be able to do it from the Delta Lounge. So that may make sense also. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But anyways, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. All right, y'all. How y'all feeling this morning? Let me get this together. Let me get this together. I may fly overnight and just sleep overnight. I may be able to do that from the airport because they got a Delta Lounge in the airport. So no, I don't do this in public. People gonna think you crazy. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about that because I can do it from the Delta Lounge and just do the show from there and then jump on a plane and you know what I'm saying, get up out of there. But I would still miss like maybe the last segment of the show or something like that. So we'll see what's happening. San Diego's lounge is super small. Is it? All right, I'm gonna have to rethink everything. I might just fly out.
honestly, I might just fly out on Wednesday afternoon and just go from there. All right. But let me acknowledge some of the people that support the platform, and then we're gonna go from there. First of all, I want to acknowledge Mike that dude. Shout out to Mike that dude. I appreciate you. Also want to acknowledge Rand Wilson. Respects at Revelations 13 and 10. Mike that dude, I really do appreciate you, bro. Spencer Campbell, shout out to Spencer Campbell, says looking forward to a great show. John Teal says for the comedy that you provide daily, I try. I try. All right, Wednesday it is. We're gonna switch over to Wednesday and we're gonna go from there. All right. So I set that up. The Centurion Lounge is better. They got a Centurion Lounge in San Diego. Usually I get to the airport just enough time to be able to get on my plane, so I don't really care about all of that other stuff. Let me like that, like that, like that, like that. Shout out to Tropical Empress says blessings, handsome Anton. How are you? I feel really blessed. I feel really, really blessed. One more thing before we get started. The reason why I feel really blessed is because I will tell you, everybody likes to lie to y'all and tell you that money don't matter. Somebody says you don't stream on Wednesday evening, so why not just do that? Because it's Christmas Eve. That's the difference. It's not about whether or not it's Wednesday, like, because I don't stream on Wednesday. Is because if I have to do something, or it's easier for me to be able to take care of business, or you prevent yourself from dealing with any layovers so you can make sure that you get back home for Christmas, because it's Christmas Eve. That's why. The only reason why I'm debating this is because it's Christmas Eve. That's why I was thinking about taking an overnighter instead of doing it, you know what I'm saying, on Wednesday and getting in at 8 p.m. on a 5-hour flight, because I didn't want to possibly mess up getting back on time, and I don't want to get stuck in San Diego for Christmas Eve. And so that's why I'm asking y'all the question. Thursday is Christmas. Wednesday is Christmas Eve. That's why I'm asking y'all, should I do an overnight Tuesday? Or if I should do a Wednesday afternoon. That's why I keep saying that. Chris Park says, can you make a Patreon video on how you do your insurance for your family? Do you have to make 150,000 or more to go private insurance? Thank you, sir. Absolutely not. I'll do it. I'll show y'all all of my numbers inside of the Patreon. But I will say this though, before we deep dive into the show, y'all got to get your money up, fellas. Ladies, obviously, this is applicable for you too. But I'm really speaking to the fellas because I know that it's upon us that we need to provide and protect. You have to, you have to, you have to, you have to, you have to. You have to get your money up, fellas. And the reason why is because people that keep telling y'all that money don't matter is lying out of their teeth. They lie, they lie, they've lied to you more than you ever should have been lied to in your life. I have so many epiphanies every single day, and a lot of times I try to capture it on a vlog camera, which when I get to the studio, um, I'll be able to upload all of this footage and just drop it on the Patreon. But the reason why is because, and let me also say this: if you can, have your children early. Get your money up, and if you can, have your children early. My daughter is about to be 18, and there is no better feeling than knowing that you raised your kid right, made the sacrifices to make a lot of money and stay down and stacked up, and that she's secure, straight, that y'all have money and resources. And at 43 years old, you can go and do whatever you want to do. Now, obviously, character factors into that, but that's not what we're talking about today. What I'm saying is, when you have money and you got the back half of your life to still live, and you have freedom, there is nothing like it in the world. There is nothing like being able to say, you know what? The weather is messed up over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly over there where the weather is better. and I'm gonna chill out for a little bit until Christmas, and then I'm gonna make sure that I get back in time so that I can go and purchase the BMW that's on the ship. And I'm coordinating with the lady that got the BMW, and I literally just downloaded the app, and it just arrived at the port. It just arrived at the port. So this is a Christmas gift. She already know about it. So my daughter already is getting the BMW M3 Competition X Drive. And that's why I'm trying to coordinate when I should get home, because she's telling me, she just called me this morning and said, "Oh, it's at the port. It should be offloaded, and it's going to be at, you know what I'm saying, we'll be able to deliver it by the end of the week." So they're not going to deliver it by Wednesday. It's probably going to be more like Friday or Saturday, right? And I had my child at 26 years old. My child is about to be 18, and everything is good. When you make the sacrifice early, and I tell y'all in the Patreon, I tell y'all here, make sure that you hold it down. Your mid to mid 20s, I would say 25 through your 30s, is hustle. That is the time where you run up as much money as you possibly can. Your mid 20s through your 30s is your hustle period. Now, some people like to have children later. That's cool. That's not for me. I think you got to figure that out between you and your wife. Don't have children out of wedlock. All right. But when you stay down for 10 years and then you able to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it, man, it is incredible the options that you have at your disposal. You don't work hard as far as like your physical labor, being out, busting your body down, and all of that stuff. You spend in your 40s and beyond focusing on multiplying your money. Your money works for you because you've worked for your money. Your money is now the principal, and it's the assets that you build that then kick off the money that allows for you to be able to make whatever it is that you want to make, and you have the freedom to do what you want to do. When you run up a bag, bro, and you then invest it and you start to run it up and do what you're supposed to do, bro, it is the most incredible feeling in the world to just pick up and go wherever you want to go. And you don't have to sacrifice, right? You don't have to say, well, I can only drive this car, or, I have to stay at this place, and I just want to be in the building. It's no more being in the building. Now it's operating in abundance. Now it's making sure that you can do whatever you want to do when you want to do it. You see what I'm saying? And so I could pick up and say, okay, well, I want to live in La Jolla for a week. And then, you know what? It's Saturday. I know I was supposed to fly back, but I don't like the weather back home. I'm going to stay for a few more days. And then I'm going to actually go downtown because I want to see what the environment is like over there. You can't front load your life. Don't front load your life. Don't think that you got to get it all out. That is the biggest Jedi mind trick that society has told y'all and taught y'all wrong. Your 20s is supposed to be for sacrifice. 20s and 30s, some of your 30s, you're supposed to be broke. You're supposed to be poor. You're supposed to be hustling. You shouldn't be having to try to keep up with the Joneses. Stop letting Instagram and TikTok influence you to do stuff that you're not supposed to do. We hustled in reverse. We hustling in reverse. And it's so hard to convince young people to do it differently unless you're the example, because the only thing that they see is what's in front of them. So now what happens is a lot of times they take on a lot of student loan debt. They take on consumer debt, and they trying to dig themselves out of it. That's why you see so many people on the Dave Ramsey show, or why Dave Ramsey is so popular, because it's so many people trying to dig themselves out of a hole. But when you make the sacrifice and you say, you know what, I'm going to hold off on any big purchases. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to try to get the cars ahead of time. I'm not going to feel like I need to take all of the vacations. And you actually invest in yourself, bro, the back end is so. Whenever I talk about independence, right, as a business owner, or independence as a content creator, I don't care about the upfront money. The upfront money is the loans. That's what you pay interest on. The back end is what you care about. You don't want the front end. If you great at what you do, you want the back end. You always want the residual checks. A lot of people will say, even movie stars, we wouldn't see Avatar. And I looked at the salaries of all of the people, and it's only one person, the main star, the Jake Sully guy, that gets 5% of the profit. So after they cross over into the green, then he gets a percentage of the profit. He gave up a little bit of the front end so he could make a whole lot of money on the back end. So he can make a whole lot of money on the back end. It's not worth it to blow your youth on partying and having fun. Forget fun, bro. You can have, it's way more fun having money than it is going to a party broke. It's way more fun having money. Do you know why a lot of black people be mad at me when I call them out and I say accountability? Do you know why a lot of white people is mad at me when I call them out and I say accountability? You know why a lot of Asian people is mad at me when I call them out and say accountability? Because do you know why there's guys? This is the best one ever, right? Because I'm never an advocate for telling names as far as the type of women that you sleep with and stuff. Do you know why a lot of guys get mad and they say, man, I bet you wasn't nothing in high school, or man, you wasn't in the streets, or yo, this and that. Man, I bet you if you didn't have money, you would be a lame, right? You know why they say that? Because their best years are behind them. Now, they don't know anything about your past at all. They're making an assumption based off of where you at in your future because they've never really seen dudes that front loaded become great in the end. So they Al Bundy. In Polk High, I had this many touchdowns, and man, those were the years. Man, remember when we was getting hoes in high school? Bro, we 40. We 40. All of those women that, you know, was moving and shaking in high school, they fat now. And a lot of them are baby mamas. What do we care? Why are we still living in that space? You know why? Because their best years are behind them instead of in front of them. So a lot of times they use that as a coping mechanism. It's like women that will say to men, oh, you this or you that. Oh, man, you know, I slept with you, but I don't care or whatever. Or whenever you hold them accountable, they start throwing ad hominem attacks. The reason why they do that, it's a coping mechanism. Because their best years are behind them. They're the future crackheads of America. Or they're the ones that's going to be begging the government for assistance. They're the ones that's going to be trying to figure out where their next meal is coming from. If they girl don't get their food stamps that month, then it's going to be rough for them. So it's hard for people that don't feel as though they have a future or is not willing to make the sacrifices now so that they can live the best life that they ever had in life in the future because they're unwilling to do it. They're always going to be hand to mouth, hand to mouth. They're always going to be paycheck to paycheck, paycheck to paycheck. They will never be able to get a woman to love them or like them that is actually better than what their current circumstances is because you are what you attract. They'll never be able to get a chick, you know, that is not worth her salt because all they have to look back on is their high school yearbook. I don't even care about I'm in my high school yearbook 1,000 different times. I'm all throughout my high school yearbook and this, and I was at that, and I was at homecoming party and whatever. But then I put away childish things when I started to become an adult. And I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and grind and hustle and stay down, and I'm going to just have fun doing free things. Their best years are behind them, so it's hard for them to cope with the idea that it's over for them. It's over. It's always better to make sure that you invest in for the back end than all of this front loading stuff. It's always better. Do not, and I'm telling you, get your money up. It's way better when you got your money up. You can help people. You can tip people more. You have all of the conveniences. People bend over backwards for you. All of that type of stuff. They look out for you. They will make sure that you are taken care of. AD, you said you have an interview you had to do on Sunday. Wait, what am I talking about? AD is running the thing so he can shake and bake when it's right. Yeah, I canceled that, and then I'm going to reschedule it. Sup, Anton? I saw your video about La Jolla, California, and your work ethic. Have you always got up early at 4 a.m.? Yeah, unless I work really late. I didn't even go to bed till late last night because I was trying to make sure that I got everything planned out for this week. Um, yeah, man, get y'all money up, bro. All right, let's go ahead and get into the show. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. I'm 48. Is it too late to turn things around? Bro, listen, bro. In 1 year, you could be a completely different person. If you're a man, if you're a man and you just lock in for 1 year, your whole life can be different. What do you mean you only 48? You don't even get to your top earning potential until your late 50s, early 60s. Bro, lock in. Lock the fuck in. What you talking about? No, it ain't no too late. In 1 year, you could be a whole different person. What you talking about? Shout out to Jaquel PF. I appreciate you. Malachi in the building with the super sticker. Manasseh King React says, good morning, Chaser. Celebrated my 33rd birthday yesterday. I'm going to keep running it up for the rest of my 30s. Bro, lock in. Let's lock in, y'all. Time out for the games. J-Lo on the track says, morning, Anton in the bag chaser. Shout out to President Trump for the military dividend. Money will always matter. As also, older men always tell me to have kids later. I aspire to have them, finding my wife and getting, wait till you get a wife. I'm glad that I had my child early. Shout out to J-Lo on the track. I'm glad that I had my child early. Because it's more fun. It's fun being 40 and everything in the building. Kevin Samuel says something. I want to hear his videos. I never stopped from then. You need $2.5 million to enjoy your retirement without worrying about bills. You need as much as you want. Why stop at 2.5 when you can have 10? Why stop at 10 when you can have 20? Is it too late to move back in with your parents in your 30s? Are y'all crazy? No. Man, locking in means reducing all of your money, all of your expenses, cutting out the bullshit, focusing on running up a bag and building your businesses and getting your life together. No. Lock in, bro. All right? Lock in. Let's get to it. All right, y'all. We got a couple things that we want to cover before we start getting into all of this other stuff. Yourself, that doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you're not tricking off. It doesn't mean that you're not suffering. All right. First thing that I want to get into is this knife attack. Did y'all see this? Oh, let me share my screen with you guys really quickly.
Tonight, a horrifying rampage in the heart of Taiwan's capital. Videos show a man dressed in black running through a crowded shopping district in Taipei, wielding a massive knife, indiscriminately slashing bystanders before entering a popular mall, sending terrified shoppers running. Authorities say the assailant began his deadly Friday night attack at this nearby metro station, where he threw 5 or 6 smoke grenades. Videos show heavy smoke filling part of the station, and commuters just feet from the attacker taking.
What's up with people's survival instincts in Taiwan? Does nobody have survival instincts in Taiwan? Yeah, this went viral over the weekend. I couldn't wait to talk about it with you guys and have a conversation. The dude set up in the street. I'm gonna show the much longer video. Guy set up in the street and threw smoke grenades. Then he started running through and stabbing people. And then he stopped and he started throwing more smoke grenades. And then he went back to start stabbing people. And people was just standing around like it wasn't a big deal. And I said to myself, what is up with everybody's survival instincts? So y'all see somebody in the street in a busy Taiwan, and I don't know who the dude is that's recording, because that could have been more than just a smoke bomb. That could have been a regular grenade. It could have been something else. It could have been something that threw some shrapnel. It could have been anything. And people are just standing around Like it's not even a big deal. It's like your survival instincts are zero.
Shelter in a Starbucks. In this CCTV footage, you can see the chaos and someone falling to the ground. Everybody was panicking, said this McDonald's employee. What I did immediately was to get the customers to take cover and hide. This woman says she was among those attacked, saying it did not feel like a slash, it felt more like being hit. Then it really hurt. According to Taiwan's national news agency, 3 people were killed and at least 6 others hurt, and that the suspect, 27-year-old Chang Wen, also died after jumping out of a store window. Taipei's mayor says Wen was a wanted fugitive for evading military service. Tonight, Taiwan's prime minister announcing increased security in public areas, seeking to calm a nation unaccustomed to violence. Liz Kreutz, NBC News.
Now, we thank you for watching, and remember,
why is everybody just standing around looking? Why is everybody just standing around looking? Dog got a massive blade in his hand. A massive blade in his hand. And everybody just standing around like, you know what? Not a big deal. We just gonna see what happens. We gonna wing it and all of this stuff. Yeah, they said that he tried to evade military service. That's another thing that people in this country don't appreciate, is that we don't appreciate the recruitment skills and being able to voluntarily have people in our military. When you go over to other countries, sometimes it's a requirement, and other times they are always at war, so you have to do it. And if you go over to Ukraine, they're going to throw you in a truck and make sure that you do it anyway. So when you start to think about our culture, so many people don't appreciate American culture today. A lot of people don't appreciate American culture. They are too coddled. They've been blessed for too long. They haven't really been held accountable for anything in their life. And they can also get on social services. So when you see what happens in other countries, people don't really appreciate the freedom that we have. They don't appreciate the sacrifices that our military makes. You know what I'm saying? They don't appreciate it. So now, when you see stuff like this and you hear the background story and that he was actually a wanted fugitive for evading military service, you start to think different, and hopefully you start to appreciate not only our military members. I know they got $1,700, $1,776. A lot of them got it already in their bank accounts. You should start to appreciate the fact that these are the people that allow for you to do the stuff and have the freedom that you have. So when you out here protesting and you out here standing against them and you trying to prevent our government from doing the things that they supposed to do, then you become the enemy yourself. And we have so much freedom to where we still don't even hold you accountable. We still don't hold you accountable. We are so spoiled. We are so spoiled. Super spoiled. But these people have zero survival skills, bro. Look at it. Zero survival skills. Crazy. Dog threw a bunch of smoke grenades in the streets, and then he's calmly walking towards a group of people with a massive knife, a massive blade, and then he goes in and he starts striking everybody. Well, look at the couple on over there to the. Look at this couple right here, over there, right there to the left, to the right. What are they doing? What are they doing? What is happening? Why do y'all have zero survival skills? Zero. You run and you ask questions later. And you know what else is something else that's wrong? I don't know what the gun laws are over there in Taiwan. I know that over here in certain cities, you know, we a lot more strict in certain states or whatever. But when you actually have people that can carry and can protect themselves, this doesn't happen as much. This doesn't happen as much. When you have people that can protect themselves, you don't have this much because people are a little bit more, you know, you're not running around in Texas just knifing people because everybody in Texas got one. You're not running around in the cities. You're not running around in Michigan because we got CPO licenses. They banned guns in Taiwan. Well, this is why y'all ain't got no survival skills. This is why dude is just sitting there right there in front of the Spectrum store. What is he doing? Look at him and his girl. Why are you running so slow? Look at these people, how slow they are. Let me say this also, and that there is also a lot of sassiness. It's a lot of gay people, a lot of gay men over in these countries too. When y'all want to talk about it, it's a lot of gay people over in these liberal countries also. A lot of them. They walk slow. They act like women. They have no survival skills. Yes, I did see that. Yes, I did see it. It's a lot of sassiness that's happening now, taking place in these other countries also. So just want to make sure y'all know that. Look, and people just walking around like it's not even a big deal. All right, noted. So Taiwanese people has zero survival skills. Cool. Y'all got zero survival skills. When I first seen this video and y'all sent this to me, I was thinking to myself, how come ain't nobody actually running? How come ain't nobody moving a little bit quicker? How come everybody is a little bit slower than they would be over here in the United States of America? You got to get out the way over here. It's a stampede. You got to get out the way, and it's a stampede. Everybody just chilling. They shuffling their feet like Minecraft characters and stuff like that. And I said, what is up with these people? Why are they so slow? Why are they so slow to react? Ain't nobody saying, hey, he got a knife. He got a knife. Hey, everybody's silent, cool, chilling, winging it. Y'all living a good life over there in Taiwan like that? Y'all making that many chips? Good gosh. Get out the way, bro. Get out the way. Move, dog. Shout out to B Hunter. I appreciate you, B Hunter. Mr. Lai said, this is sick dude. Think this is the Legend of Zelda, man. He was over there slashing people. Supreme by Nature TV says, bro, I'm so glad God is using you and allowing him to use you. I just turned 49 on the 4th, and thank you for reminding me I'm not too old to turn my life around. I keep telling folks 2026 is going to be awesome. Mission, run it up. Hey, man, 1 year. 1 year. Lock in for 1 year, Supreme. 1 year. That's all we take. Quan next door in the building says, when you get the chance, Anton, please watch the fake UPS home invasion that's going viral. It's truly saddening and scary. I'm going to pull that up right now. Just popping through. It's been a minute. What up, Winnie J. Stu says, ever since I started a new career as an electrician, what I miss? Everything, but shout out to you for getting money. At least you ain't miss it for lack of getting a bag. Fake UPS home invasion. All right, fake UPS home invasion. UPS is going broke too. Or not the UPS, USPS is going broke. Let me see what is happening with this fake UPS home invasion.
Out. Two of them dressed in UPS-style uniforms, pretending to be delivery workers while secretly planning a robbery. A plan that would, within minutes, explode into a brutal encounter that would shock the entire community.
Our coverage is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. We barely cover your fifth day.
You know how I know that dudes is too brazen nowadays? You know how I know that dudes is too brazen nowadays is because they don't even wear masks when it's a bunch of cameras. They don't even wear masks when it's a bunch of cameras. They just gonna pull up and do whatever it is that they're gonna do. And I guess, you know, you gotta not wear a mask if you want to make yourself believable or whatever. But to even pull something like this off, you have to be a straight up, I don't care about anything and anyone. And here's the thing that I'm wondering, how do they know what house to target? How did they know what house to target? Why do they have cameras all throughout their house? Now, you know, my detective skills is about to be on 10. You know, my detective skills is about to be on 10. Why do they have cameras all throughout the house? Because most people have like a camera on the outside and this and that and this and that. People don't usually have cameras all throughout. And this is like, I'm talking about, you know, most people, right? People don't usually have cameras set up all throughout the house and the living room and the bedroom and all of that stuff. People don't have that. That's not normal. What I'm asking is, because I'm trying to understand, and now, of course, I'm never going to be on the side of the criminal, but I'm trying to understand the context clues. This don't look like a regular place. Am I off? This does not look like a regular place. This looks like something a little bit different. And why do you then have a camera inside of the kitchen? That's all I'm asking. Yeah. Why is it two UPS drivers? And what's the point of having a camera if you're not going to check the camera when somebody is knocking at the door?
One of the victims steps out, apparently completely unaware the delivery is a setup.
Ain't no UPS truck or nothing nowhere. You're just walking out to the street.
Ain't no big dog, is it? Ain't no big.
And you got on Skechers. He got on a face mask. Dog got on a face mask asking, ain't no big dog, is it? Spidey senses would have been on fire. Spidey senses would have been on tingle, on 10, 1,000%. Ain't no way in the world. And this is why y'all have to have ladies. I don't know how many times I'm going to tell y'all. Is it that horrifying? Is it that bad? Do I even want to play the rest of this? Yes, it really is bad. All right. Then I might not play the rest of this. Y'all trying to get me to review videos that's going to turn the stream yellow. Does it show the murders?
Dog, is it? Not yet. Hey, check it out. Come on, no more.
What? Wait. So hold on. Here's my thing. Oh, it's blocked out. Okay, cool. Here's my thing, bro. Why are y'all still walking up to the house? Why are they still walking up to the house? They have, man, I'm telling you, bro, whoever these people are that's walking outside every day, they don't have any survival skills. Zero survival skills at all. So you can't just hand me the package. You got to walk with me up to the door asking me if I got any big dogs. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Hand me my package. And usually they just give you your package. Hey, man, what's going on? Okay, cool. You want to sign here? All right, cool. And keep it moving. So you don't have no situational awareness whatsoever. You got to follow me back to the door with this light box that don't have no packaging, no shipping label or nothing on it. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here, man. Ain't no UPS truck nowhere or none of that.
Move your hand. Open the window. Move like that. Open the door.
Dog, I'm not opening up the door if I got kids in the crib. You just got to take me out. I'm not opening the door if I have kids in the crib. You're going to have to take me out right here and right now. This is dumb. I don't even think it's any more that I need to see. I don't think it's nothing else that I need to see. If I have kids in the crib, if I got a chick in the crib, if it's anybody else in the house, even if it's my homeboys in there, you're not getting in the house. You're not getting in the house. What am I talking about? What do you mean open the door? Y'all said that they got kids in there? Is people in there? Is women in there? You gotta get to me, bro. That's it. No, I'm good. No. You're not getting in. Nope. And I'm not even gonna negotiate. Listen, I don't care if they allow for people to be able to deliver in and out of their cars. They was at the end of the driveway. They got cameras everywhere. And you was right there with the package. Why you got to walk with me back up to my door and you got to put shiesty mask on? Anton been robbed before, so he remembering stuff. Yeah, but I got robbed in the streets. You ain't robbed me in my crib. You ain't robbed me in the crib. Oh, he got on he's fully faced off, and you let this guy in your house?
The home security camera captures the third suspect come up the driveway after he's waved in by the other men.
Come on.
Oh, they pistol whipping me. I can't watch no more, bro. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to do it, bro. I can't. I don't want to watch the actual deaths, bro. It's not necessary for it to watch the actual deaths.
Do you know the incident I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. So you have no idea.
I know that somebody got locked up.
Who got
somebody
locked up?
Somebody is a name that you saying.
Who got locked up?
The name that you said. You said somebody's name Alonzo or something like that.
Okay. And you know Alonzo?
Yeah, a little bit. I know of him.
Okay. You knew more of just of him, right? You guys go way back.
No.
To Chicago.
I'll say yeah.
I won't don't, you know, somewhat of the same level of respect, right?
Yeah, but
we do our
like you said way back, like basically like friends, anything like that? No.
Not friends.
No.
All right. But you've known him all the way back to Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you living now?
Huh?
Where are you living now?
Alone in Minneapolis.
When's the last time you talked with Alonzo?
I'm gonna say like a month ago or something like that.
A month ago?
Like a month and a half, I think.
A month and a half ago?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot. So that was already on camera. That was already put on the news. It already showed Alonzo shooting a person. Okay? I don't know if I explained it well to you or not, but the more information I tell you, the less you can tell me to help.
No, but I was saying you can't tell me about that because I heard about it. The whole world know about it.
Sure.
That's everywhere you go to work. Hey, you heard about what happened? Somebody got killed in Coon Rapids. 4-5 people. How many more people got killed? I don't know. Okay. So what did I do?
Keep talking, big dog. Keep talking. That's what we need. We need to get you locked up immediately.
You were there.
Wasn't there.
You were. I mean, you're probably not going to take my word for it or anything, but I'm not lying to you. I'm not making stuff up. We had the pull camera. Well, somebody had a pull camera in the house. When we see you pull up, we see the three of you get out, walk up to the house. It's just you and Alonzo. He knocks on the door. You don't come to the door at first, so you start walking away. As you guys are partway down the street, or partway down the driveway, he comes outside, so you guys walk back. Okay? On the door there was a camera. And you had gloves on, you had a mask on, but we're still able to tell it's you.
With a mask on?
Yeah. Okay? And then who'd you...
Lock these demons up. Lock these demons up 10 times out of 10. There's this debate that's going on out here, and I'm actually going to introduce this on a Monday night show. There's this debate that's going on out here, and the debate is over F the streets. You got Boosie, 21 Savage, all of these different guys that's arguing. There's a group of rappers like 21 Savage and Offset and stuff like that that's basically saying F the streets. The streets don't love you. It's the worst thing that ever happened to people, whatever, so on and so forth. Then you got people like Boosie, right? And people like Boosie is over here saying, "No, man, we love the streets. No, man, the streets mess with us. The reason why we ever even got anything is because we've been in the streets." So there's a group of people that's saying F the streets.
Hey, all these people saying streets and all this, I'm not with it because I am, I'm a big part of the streets. That's what my love is. That's what my genuine love is. They love me so much, and I'm always speak up for the streets, bro. We talking about how it traumatized it. It was up, but it made us success stories. Everybody who was traumatized by the streets, it made you a success story to lead them streets. Streets made everything, hip hop, NFL, NBA. All these are people who come from most 60% are from the NBA are from the streets. All athletes are from the streets. They had to play ball to leave the streets. So the streets got success stories. This ain't all trauma. Trauma turned into success. Let's keep it real, bro. Like, man, I ain't gonna nah, man. We ain't finna be on no street shit, especially if you done made it off the streets. Come on, man. Like, take the streets out of all our music. Take the streets out of all our music. Who are we now? Who are you now without that street message that you preach to everybody? Who are you now? Yeah, man. So that ain't cool, right? I'm not with the streets. I feel like y'all using that as a gateway for when y'all get in trouble. If everybody saying street, by the time y'all get in trouble, now y'all have a gateway. I'm telling the streets. I ain't going for it. I'm standing.
So there's this big debate, and I'm gonna probably just try to help moderate the conversation tonight when we get on the Q show, because I'm gonna tell you what my thoughts are right now. All right. The streets love nobody. As we just watched that video, and I'm gonna go back to it in a second. The streets do not love you. I don't know where y'all got off glorifying the streets, but anybody that was in it never wanted to be in it. It was never cool. It was never what was up. I don't care. I don't know how they packaged this shit to y'all and start selling it to you, and they start calling it rap, and they start calling it gang banging, and they start calling it gang love. But let me tell you something, bro. As a person, and a lot of us have the same story that's watching this live stream, that's watching this video right now. As a person that was born in the inner city of Detroit, and some of y'all have heard a little bit of my story. Y'all have heard me have conversations with my brother. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to talk about it. That's not even something that we need to revisit. But here's the thing, bro. It ain't never, ever, ever been cool to be in the streets. And for a person like him, Boosie, and there's several other people, including rappers, they don't send their kids to that environment. They don't live in that environment. They bought land as far as way that they can find so that they can build them an estate in hopes that their children stay out of it, and they kids still find themselves into it because they're so heavily influenced by the music. So heavily influenced by the music. Now, I'm not saying that we're not influenced by different parts of the culture that obviously come from the streets, how we talk, how we walk, the way that we wear certain glasses and whatever, all of that type of stuff. A lot of that is harmless. You know what I'm saying? If you like Jordans because Jordans was a thing when you was growing up, if you like Timbs because that was influenced by New York street culture, that's fashion. I'm talking about the streets for real. For real, for real. And anybody that was born, and it's not just Detroit, it's all across America, whether you're going to Los Angeles or New York, or you go down to Mississippi or Tennessee, Memphis. If you want to go up to Milwaukee, or you want to go down to Cleveland, you hit Chicago, or you want to go down to parts of Miami, the streets is everywhere. Everywhere. Every major state and city has places. No, it ain't. DMV ain't different. Listen. Don't let them lie to you, bro. No hood is different from the other hood. The slang may be different. The lingo may be different. The dress code might be a little bit different, but it's all designed to keep you stuck, dead, in jail, and going to prison. It's all designed for the same thing, the same exact thing. The same exact thing, bro. It's designed to destroy America. It's designed to destroy your family. It's designed to keep you locked up in prison so you can be a part of the industrial complex. It's designed to keep you poor. It's designed to keep you ignorant. It's designed to keep information away from you. It's designed for you to continue to vote for Democrat and liberal cities. And it's also designed to think that you're really doing something because you're the man in your hood. One small lick, bro. One small lick gonna have you locked up for the rest of your life. All of your friends and your family is gonna be in prison. And y'all think that it's cool. The streets ain't never, I ain't never seen a dude that loved being in the streets. You know what I seen? Dudes that was outside like this. Looking back and forth for the raid van while at the same time trying to move a little bit of work. And they actually losing because it costs them more to be like this. It costs them more to do like this than it does to go and get a job at the McDonald's. Than it does to, I don't know anybody that loved being in the streets. And the dudes that made the most money, all of them had to sit down at least for a period of time. All of them had to. Listen, Boosie was facing football numbers. And let me tell y'all, they make money off of y'all. And they continue to promote this nonsense and this BS. And this is the reason why I say that it's not black people, it's the culture, bro. It's the culture. It is. It's the culture. Somebody said when you're young, it's hella fun in the streets till the consequences. So it wasn't even fun. Yo, we got this revisionist history where we think that the stuff that we used to do was fun. No, bro. No, it wasn't. With that eating both ends of the bread because there wasn't no more food left. We look back, yeah, man, we used to eat both ends. No, man, this shit was trauma. It was trauma. What you talking about? Going outside, couldn't walk down the street because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to make it to the next day. It was nothing fun. It was nothing fun. That's how I be knowing that y'all wasn't really out there. It was never, ever fun. We just didn't know no better. It was never, ever fun. Never, ever. I don't remember growing up in the hood and the streets being fun. Police, raid vans, crackheads everywhere. When we gonna grow the fuck up? What? And see, this is why I say the OGs be failing us. This is why the OGs be failing us. Because they sitting here talking about, nah, man, I never turned my back against the streets. I never turned my back against the streets. What? You ain't got no kid. This is what I usually say. In relationships, in money, and in culture. If I wouldn't want my daughter to be a part of it, if I wouldn't want my nephews to be a part of it, then I would never promote it as something that's awesome. He's sitting there trying to convince his child, his little son, to stay out the streets. Hey, man, do this, man, do this, do this. Sounding like, half the time sounding like Terrence Howard. Hey, man, do this, man. The streets don't love you, man. Stay out them streets. But then he'll come on here and promote it to y'all so that your kid can be out here fucked up. And then they want to sell you a CD. They would never put their own son in their own. It's a reason why they moved out and they built their crib all the way out there. And then they sitting there having a conversation with you about the streets. Man, I can't never abandon the streets. Now, how come you ain't pushing that to your kid? How come you ain't pushing it to your son? Me and all of my brothers grew up in that environment. Guess what happened? None of our kids did. Our kids sound like, what's the black part of the Hamptons, wherever that is? Remember when they was talking about the black part of the Hamptons? Our kids sound like, our kids would be called lames today. Some of them have joined the military and got a great career. Others of them have graduated college with tech degrees. Other ones have done this and done that. Ain't none of our kids, they don't speak like us. They don't talk like us. They're not interested in the same things we interested in. You know, do you know why we never got into anime and stuff like that when we was younger? Because we was too busy running from fucking pit bulls. We wasn't watching anime. That's why I can't relate. When y'all be like, man, this anime, my little nephews kept trying to put me on anime. Let me call one of these little niggas and see what they sound like right now. Might be at work because they didn't grew up, about to get married. You see what these little niggas sound like. Yeah, it is the daytime. He might be at work. Let me see something. They don't know nothing. Yeah, I can't answer. See that? Hey, I can't answer. I'm at work right now. What's up? I can't answer. I'm at work right now. What's up? Good. That's the way I like it. Your call has been don't answer because you at work. Don't answer because you at work. Chill, I was in the anime in the 90s. That's great. I love that for you. We didn't know anime because we was actually trying to survive. We had to go outside. We was out. We you know what I'm saying? It was just a different culture. It was a different environment for people that was in a certain space. It was just different. So I hate when people like this sit there and promote the streets. Oak Bluffs. Yeah, Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, that's what my daughter is familiar. Like my daughter don't know that. She knows Taekwondo. She knows the hanging out at the mall with her friends and at Somerset. She know flights. She didn't been, man, my daughter have been to what? How many different countries? She's been to Japan. She's been to Croatia. She's been to Bucharest. She's been to Mexico. She's been to Canada. She's been to the Dominican Republic. She's been to Korea. She's been to all of these different countries. She ain't even 18 years old. She got a cultural norm. She's looked at businesses. She's seen different things. She got black friends, white friends, Asian friends, Hispanic friends. She done been to almost all 50 states. She done traveled the whole country. We thought in Detroit that going to Cedar Point was going out of town. We thought that going to Cedar Point was going out of town. Oh man, we going to Cedar Point for prom. I didn't even get on my first plane until I was almost 20. I didn't even get on my first plane until I was almost 20. That's life. We need to teach our kids. She done been to Europe. We need to teach our kids how to see and discover and bring all of this insight that they get back home so that we can build up better communities. We can have stronger families. We can have better environments. We can have more money. We need to take the things that we learn from other places and bring back the good, leave the bad, understand exactly how the rest of the world living, and then build up our own communities. That's what I teach my daughter. That's what I teach my daughter. And look, as usual, we got these dudes with this 47 IQ. They can't see. They don't understand the left from the right. Somebody look, check this out. Bro said I was inside watching anime, and AD basically saying that that was lame, and he was running outside from the dogs. First of all, I never said it was lame. Secondly, what I'm saying is, nigga, we didn't have cable. Wasn't no anime. It was 2, 4, 7, 20, and UPN 50. Nigga, wasn't no anime. You didn't have no fucking anime. You had them 6 channels, and if it wasn't nothing on them 6 channels, you know what you was outside doing? Running from dogs. Because there was always a stray pit bull in the hood. It was always a stray pit bull in the hood. Wasn't no cable. What are you talking about? Nigga, we didn't have anime. Nigga, I didn't even know what anime was. Nigga, that was new. That's some new shit. Nigga, we didn't have anime. Cartoons only came on Sunday. We didn't have cable. Fuck is you talking about? 247 20 UPN 50. I'm an 80s baby, boy. I was born in 1982. Anime is new shit for us. What you talking about? And yes, it was always a stray pit bull outside. Always. That's one of the things that you look for when you was in the hood. You always looked around and try to figure out where the stray dogs was, because we always got chased by dogs. Somebody says, so Barton didn't exist. It didn't exist for us. It didn't exist for us. Listen, bro, listen. You privileged people that was born and raised in spaces, and you think you know. You don't. You just talking. You just talking. You don't understand the way that people grew up differently. So when y'all say, no, I'm from this, you don't know shit. You don't know nothing, bro. You a new nigga. You was born in this era. They just be yapping, talking all of this dumb shit. Bro, if you live to become 40 years old, you a winner if you was born and raised in the hood. If you was born and raised in any environment where it was predominantly hood, urban culture, and you make it to 40, you won. You are a winner. Most of us was never predicted to make it past 18, 21, 22 years old. Watching cable was a privilege at some like that was when you went over to people that had money house. And they talking about, nah, man, I love the hood. Boy, the hood ain't never, you know how many bodies was caught in the hood? You know how many bodies was caught in the hood? I didn't even start getting introduced to anime until till we had kids. And they was in school talking about anime. Oh man, Anton, you gotta watch this. You gotta like, what the fuck is that? Who is these Asian characters with spiky hair? Who is these Asian characters with spiky hair that's on my TV? My nephews put me up on that. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, so this is what y'all doing now? Wow, this is weird. It was weird to me because I had never seen no junk like that before. They sitting there talking about, oh man, you ain't watch anime. No, nigga, I didn't watch anime. Anime wasn't an option for most of us. Talking about, bro.
You wave up. I didn't wave nobody.
You're sitting in the car and you waved him up.
You said I was sitting in the car?
No, he was sitting in the car. The third person was sitting in the car. You waved him up.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know who that was. I don't know who that was with no mask on, but it showed it wasn't me. You didn't ask me where was I at, or was I somewhere else, or nothing.
Where were you? I know where you were, but where were you? And then I'll follow up on that. And
you know I was there already, right? That what you said?
I do. But if you're saying you're somewhere else, you tell me where you were, who you talked to, and I'll follow up with them and rule you out. That's only fair, right?
That's crazy. You say on the 13th?
The 26th. January 26th.
I know I wasn't there. I wasn't at nobody else. I won't know at nobody's house.
Okay. We go in a crime scene, the whole 9 yards. You're touching your face. You're hitting the
See?
Yeah, I'll grab them.
You said I'm hitting what?
You're touching your face. You got a mask on. Yeah. You're touching your face. You're touching the lizard cage. You're touching the face. You're touching different areas. You're breathing through the mask. Okay.
Chris said he should have asked for a lawyer. He talking too much. No. Chris, that is for people that have civil infractions. We only encourage that for people that have civil infractions, and do maybe a little bit of white collar crime or some shit like that. Maybe you got bad taxes or something. We encourage this. We want snitches. We need, because we know who the people are in the hood that did all of the crimes. We need them to tell on themselves. I want them to keep talking. I don't want them to get a lawyer. And I want them all to go to prison. I want them all to go to jail. Bro, they killed kids. They killed kids. I want all of these dudes. And everybody say, oh, man, you want, what about the kids that they killed? Those don't count? None of them count? Y'all more focused on keeping it real than y'all are about getting justice for people that get killed? I want these people locked up. I want them gone forever. As a matter of fact, I want them executed. I want the death penalty for these people, bro. People that go into other people's houses and kill kids, they should automatically, it shouldn't even be no sentencing. If you shoot a kid, if you killed somebody and it's on camera and it is proven, you can see yourself doing it, you should automatically get the death penalty, and we shouldn't even have an appeals process. You should have it within the first 6 months of hitting the yard. And the only reason you should get 6 months is you should get some time to be able to repent and give some closure to the family. If you kill a kid, you should have the death penalty immediately. It shouldn't even be no options whatsoever. You over there taking out the babies? You taking out the babies? That used to be off limits. You don't kill kids. We shouldn't be advocating for these niggas. You should be dead. You should be gone immediately, bro. It should be no conversation, automatic death penalty, no matter what state you're in. That should be a federal mandate.
To the point of the evidence is mounting up so high, it's hard to get out from it. Okay? Right. There's also audio, and you can be heard on there saying, ain't no big dog, is it?
What?
Ain't no big dog, is it?
What do that mean? Ain't no big dog, is it? Not yet.
Well, you tell me. You said it?
Well. What would I say? What do that mean?
That's what you said when you're there. You also have a very distinct voice.
I don't say nothing like that. I don't know what that means. What do that mean?
Oh, that's just what you said when you're walking up and you're talking
Why would you want me to say it?
To the guy in the driveway.
Why would you want me to say it?
So that I can compare it to what I heard on the video. Right?
I'm not going to say nothing.
Okay. I'm saying...
You saying you knew I was there already, so why you want me to say it?
Well,
anything.
I can say that you're there all day. I can prove that you're there, and I can prove what happened because...
You can prove I was there? Sure.
Yeah, because everything is on video, man.
26. Yeah, the 26. That's the 26. That's the day I couldn't go to work because I had my baby with me.
Okay.
And my baby mama, she wasn't trying to come get him.
And ladies, y'all out here having kids with these monsters. Let me say that. Y'all out here having kids with these monsters. Y'all having kids with monsters. For the fact that these dudes got baby mamas, and y'all know that y'all dudes is out here and reckless in the streets. Y'all not even like confused, none of that stuff. Y'all know that these dudes is in the streets and they reckless and they doing some crazy shit, and y'all having kids with these dudes. All these dudes always got a baby mama somewhere holding them down. Sick of y'all.
And I didn't go to work on that day.
Okay. Where were you?
I was in the house.
Is that what you're going to go with? That's what you're going to stick with? You're never at the house or anything?
No, I wasn't at the house. I see the photos that you got.
Yeah, I can get you still photos of it. Doing good? You still want me to get warm water or cold water? All right. Give me this one. You can grab it. You can hold it if you want.
Oh, don't.
You don't need to.
And that supposed to be me or somebody else?
I know it's you. I can print off a couple more, but I don't know if that's going to convince you or not. But just so you know, I'm not lying to you.
I know you ain't lying.
On any of this. Okay?
All 3 suspects in the Coon Rapids triple homicide were indicted on multiple counts of first-degree murder, upgrading their initial charges of second-degree murder. Alonzo Pierre Mingo, identified as the alleged gunman, was found guilty by a jury on multiple counts, including 4 counts of first-degree murder. In September 2025, Mingo was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Demetrius Trenton.
Why? Okay, so here's the thing that I'm trying to understand, bro. Why do they get to live out the rest of their life having a good time with an iPad in prison? Why do they get to live out the rest of their life and can get commissary and visits from their friends and family? Why do they get to live the rest of their life getting 3 hots in a cot and getting taken care of by American taxpayers? Why do they get to have a boyfriend in prison? Why do they get to jack off and have sex? Why? Why do they get to be able to be comfortable? Be comfortable. I don't understand that, bro. They'll probably live another 50 years. Another 50 years. Oh.
Shumpert, who participated as an accomplice in the robbery, was indicted on 6 counts of first-degree murder. Prosecutors sought an aggravated sentence against him, citing the particularly cruel treatment of the victims, the involvement of 3 or more active participants, and the fact that the crime occurred in the presence of 2 minor children. On November 20th, 2025, Demetrius Shumpert was found guilty on all counts of first-degree murder and faces the same mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole when he is sentenced in January of 2026. The third co-defendant, Omari Malik Shumpert, was convicted in December.
All fit the description. All of them fit the description.
December 2025 on 5 counts of first-degree murder.
All of them fit the description. They all look the same. All got the look, like I always say it, and it's messed up. It's so messed up. Some people said light behind the can. Man, get out of here, bro. I don't give a fuck about what you think about life behind bars. It's going to be like, we shouldn't be taking care of these people with our tax dollars at all. We shouldn't even go through the even when they do executions, I don't think that they should do it like, oh man, we got to make sure that it's done humanely and all of this stuff. Nah, dog, firing squad in this shit, nice and cheap, and get a victim's family the opportunity to be able to actually do it. That's it, bro. I don't like it, bro. I don't like it. I think that it's the worst. The scum of the earth are the people that are running around doing some of the worst things ever. And I don't like it. And we up here glorifying the hood. Yeah, man, the hood, man, the hood, the hood, the hood. What hood? No hood, bro. It's all garbage. It's all garbage, in my opinion. UPS driver with no UPS truck is a bad sign. I'm not opening the door for nobody. I don't even open my hotel room door. Leave it out there. Leave it out there. I don't open the hotel room door. I don't do none of that shit, bro. Nope. Not opening the door for nobody. No signs, no nothing. Everything go to the P.O. box anyway, so I ain't got to worry about that. Bag chasers, police department, facts, Mr. Lot, for real. Dante Payne says besides the absence of a UPS truck and the ski masks. What do you mean and the ski mask? They don't and the ski mask. You can't not take that into consideration. They too big to be UPS drivers You know, UPS drivers, they're lean. They burn too many calories. Just everything about that was wrong, bro. Boosie want to talk success, but quiet about all of the dead bodies in the streets. Castro says streets and living in the hood are different, AD. Jesse, shout out to Jesse. I appreciate you. Mr. Joe in the building says rappers like Boosie and 21 Savage are the real sellouts. They got wealthy, selling destruction to their communities. Terrible People Podcast says we are the only group of people advocating for the trash in the community. Not the Jews, Asians, or Latinos do this. They throw their trash out. It's a fact. April says these rappers are afraid of losing their influence because they will lose that little money that they making. Young Money says, chill, I was in the anime in the 90s. Why do y'all take that as a personal attack? Jesse says, the only anime I knew was Eat the Cake anime. Facts. Brian, the filmmaker, says, we were so poor we was watching the same DVD back to back. Facts, 42 years old, grew up in the PJs in the Bronx, doing well now. Shout out to the people that's doing well. Mr. Lone Star says, born in 78, didn't start watching anime until I had kids. Hold on, let me back up for a minute. Hey, Steve, do you know why a lot of kids initially started taking student loans, black kids? They were taking student loans because it was the only way for them to be able to get out of the hood, get out of the projects. That's why people used to take student loans, because it was a way out. It was a vehicle for them to get out and get as far away from the hood and from the environment that they grew up in as possible. Now you have these snow bunnies and these people like that is sitting here complaining about student loans and all of this stuff. And they doing it voluntarily just because they dumb. People used to take student loans to get out the hood, bro. That was money so that they can get out and stay on campus. And hopefully they developed a friendship and connections and got a job, and they never had to go back. But that was the original reason why a lot of the people from the hood was taking student loans, because it was a way out for them. It was the only way out. And so if they could get out, they was gone. And then they never really went back because they was exposed to something new. Now, people are taking out student loans just because they privileged and they dumb as fuck. It's my nephew right now. Nice and... Yo, what up?
Hey, what's up?
Slow motion. Hey, I got a question for you. I'm on a live stream.
Oh, okay. What's up?
How do you feel about the environment, like the high school environment and middle school and stuff that you was raised in? What do you think about it?
I think I got out right as it was getting bad.
What do you define as bad?
Everybody vaping, smoking. Everybody's just soft. You can't say anything or do anything.
You're doing really well. How's your job going?
Oh, it's going good. Thank you. I passed that test, so I go to selection in March.
Nice. Absolutely nice. You still tripping off these hoes?
I think you already know the answer to that.
Yep. The answer is yes. How old are you now?
I just turned 24 in September.
What do you think about anime?
I like it. I'm not as a crazy nerd as my brothers, but I watch it. I watch the good ones, but I don't dive too deep into all that other weird anime, some of that weirdo stuff people be watching.
What do you? Who introduced me and your daddy and Dre to anime?
Oh, we did. Wait, no, y'all was watching anime before.
No, we wasn't.
We was. I know my dad was watching Dragon Ball Z a while ago, but that was pretty much it. I think we got y'all into anime.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about that. What do we think? What do we think about anime? What do I think about anime?
Think it's stupid. You be dogging it, saying they just be screaming the whole time.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
Yeah. Good kids though. Super good kids. They be simping for the hoes. We trying to get them out of the hoes and all of that, but super good kids, man. Really, really good kids. Yes, he is a nerd. They all nerds. They all nerds. And that's a good thing. Listen, it's never anything wrong with being a nerd. It's not, we trying to get them out of simp mode. They be doing anything for these hoes. You know what I'm saying? If that's the worst problem that we have to have, then we'll work on that. But that's what it is, bro. That's what it is. Like, it's always better. I'd rather them on some nerd type stuff than to grow up in a space and be thinking with the ways that we thinking and with the possibility of going to prison. Yeah, they love women. That's the most important thing. Long as they're not gay, they're not sassy and all of that shit, we could fix the simping. Hey, all right, let the little chick break their heart a little bit or whatever, they can come out of that. As long as they're not sassy, as long as they're not dead, as long as they're not in jail, got great jobs, good opportunity, they'll figure it out. They'll figure the rest of that out. They love God. They saved. We grew them up in the church, all of that, bro. But as long as they not, you know what I'm saying, in the streets and they not sassy and they don't have no children out of wedlock, they won. We won as parents. We won as parents. No sassiness, no children out of wedlock, and they not in jail. As parents, you won. You won, bro. Straight up. Ain't caught up in none of that nonsense. Get them as far away from that bullshit as possible, bro. The streets. I wish I would, bro. I wish I would promote that nonsense. That's so dumb, bro. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turning notifications. Let me read some more of these super chats. Born in 78, didn't start watching anime until I had kids. It was BMX time in the 80s and didn't have cable until I was grown. AD's right, says Rashad. When I was at my boy's house, we was outside running from dogs. When he came over, we were inside watching pay-per-view with the black box. Bro, my first introduction to cable was the box. Was that the box? Where you had to call and order the video, call and you can pay for the video. And then after that, I think we wound up getting exposed to like MTV, where they was doing Real World with Puck and them. I was like, shit, they living with each other. 7 strangers living together in a house in New York. I was like, this is crazy. The kids are alive but traumatized. Shout out to them. More Than Mellow says, I disagree. We need people to work in the mines for semiconductor production. We can get 50 years of work out of them. That's crazy. Elevate to the Unknown says, quick question, bro. When you were still working a corporate job, how did you keep your content separate from your work? Did you move carefully and keep your LinkedIn low key or outdated? I never updated my LinkedIn profile until after I left the job. Never. And I didn't separate my content, Elevate, because my content was family friendly. The reason why I was doing regular vlogs and introducing the family or whatever is because I was using that as a marketing tool for giving myself more visibility. So I didn't hide it. I embraced it. I embraced building restaurants and all of that type of stuff. That was the core of my content, exploring other cities, architecture, vlog, family. That was the thing that I marketed that separated, because it gave them, a clue as to what my personality was, if I had work ethic, all of that stuff. I never hid my content because the content that I was making was built for me to market myself in corporate America. You see what I'm saying? And then I never updated my LinkedIn profile until after I left, because anybody that was looking at me or discovering me on social media, I didn't want them to be able to dox me at my job. So then once I start having more conversations and live streaming and stuff, by that time, I had retired from corporate America. I didn't start live streaming until 2019, I believe, and actually start giving my authentic thoughts. But I was already in the mix of retiring at the end of 2019 from corporate America and getting out of the restaurant business because I didn't want what I said online to affect what I had going on in my businesses itself. So I didn't hide my content. My content was the thing that helped elevate me. It's a great question. J-Ben says, we got beat up in the hood for liking comic books and anime. We sensitive about our little cartoons. We screw all of them bully breeds in the hood, though. Kept our sprints on point. Was hard being a hood nerd. Facts. Cool Eric says, I've had sole custody of my son since he was 2. He's now 13, and my son, a nerd, times 10, I was far from. I feel like I'm doing the complete right thing by raising them to be everything that I am and nothing that I was. But don't coddle them too much. They still need work ethic. That's the one thing that we do. We spoil them, but we don't give them the work ethic. We gotta balance that part out. You can say that again. Facts on top of facts, says Poor Legacy. Trini Life says there is an age to outgrow nerdy things like is there an age to outgrow nerdy things like anime? I don't know because I've never been into it. I don't think it's an age to outgrow it. I think that you don't want to let it get in the way of what you do as far as continuing to push forward. Like I used to play video games, but I stopped playing video games because it was taking up too much time and I could use that time to actually hustle and make money and work on my businesses. So I decided to do away with games altogether. And I used to play competitively, 2K and all of that. I was into sports games. And I was in first-person shooters, Splinter Cell. I was in a Splinter Cell. I liked Rainbow Six, a little bit of Call of Duty, all of that type of stuff. But I put away the games when it was time to really start getting to the money. Preach says, Speed Racer is an anime, and I used to watch, and I grew up in Flint, Michigan in the 90s, and I definitely got chased by dogs. Shout out to my Flintstones. I did play Doom. I was into Bond. Odd Job, Bond, that's the things that we play. We play Bond, we play Mario Kart, that type of stuff. Yeah, AD, I'm 32 and I took $50,000 in student loans to make it out of the rural poor hood America. Me and all my siblings, we upper middle class professionals now. My brother is a professor. Shout out to Carrington Love Jr. Yeah, we used to play GoldenEye. Boom, 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 boom. Odd Job was a cheat code though. They really made Odd Job too good. All right, y'all, let's get into it. I want to get into these Epstein files real quick before we get into the money. Actually, let's get into this Minnesota fraud. They're saying that the fraud in Minnesota was a lot bigger than they anticipated. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Well, we're learning new details about the magnitude of Minnesota's massive welfare fraud. Federal authorities say it could total over $9 billion.
The fraud is not small. It isn't isolated. The magnitude cannot be overstated. What we see in Minnesota is not a handful of bad actors committing crimes. It's a staggering industrial scale fraud. It's swamping Minnesota and calling into question everything we know about our state.
But Tim Walz and his administration are pushing back, saying there was only a little bit of fraud.
What you're seeing here is you're seeing a weaponization. We'll continue to fix it. They're going to continue to come up with numbers that don't have it there, and it's sensationalized. I don't expect anything different from this administration.
The evidence that we have indicates tens of millions of dollars in fraud. There isn't a final number at this point, but we don't have evidence to suggest that level of fraud or a $9 billion number.
But Governor Walz can't hide from this story, as House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer is investigating the scandal and is determined to uncover the truth.
He's going to have to answer questions about the billions, not millions, not hundreds of millions, billions of dollars of fraud that we see wasted in Minnesota. And the fact that, according to state whistleblowers, state employees in Minnesota, most of whom are Democrats, they allege that they alerted both Governor Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison about this fraud, and they did nothing about it because they didn't want to offend that massive Somali population.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that the reason why they didn't want to offend the fraud that was going on in Minneapolis. And so now we get to discover the fact that, what's up, baby girl, Leah? I'm gonna read that super chat shortly. I appreciate you. Now we get to see that the fraud was actually probably well above $9 and $10 billion. Now remember, if they could discover $9-10 billion in fraud, then that means it was probably closer to 20. That's just what they found. That's not what was done. And so what Tim Walz is doing is he's deflecting. Now, imagine that this guy was actually the vice president of the United States of America, right? And they can't even blame this on Republicans as much as they try. Because you know what the Republican, what the Democrat playbook is, right? Even if it's in a Democratic state, even if it happened before Trump got back into office, even if it's only Democrats that participated in this fraud, somehow, some way, it always comes back to being Trump's fault. So now, as they go through the books and as they continue to find all of the bad actors, because Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz was trying to convince us, hey, listen, it's only a couple different people that's doing it. It's not a lot of people. Listen, it's not all Somalis. It's just a couple bad actors that got it through. No. This was a concerted effort. This was a concerted effort. And it's no way, it's impossible. Impossible. Bro, look, if you get $100 off me, like if you get over on me and you get $100 off me, let's say I'm missing 100 or I made a mistake and I gave you 200 instead of 1 because the dollars are stuck together. But when I recount in the morning, because I'm always going to recount. Every day I recount. When I recount in the morning, I'm going to catch it. I'm going to catch it. I may not realize that I gave you 2, but I'm going to realize that it's gone. I'm going to realize, you know what? Damn. What is going on here? No, I thought I know I put that in there. So I'm going to tighten up. I may not realize that I gave you that it was stuck to it, and I may figure it out or I may not figure it out, but I'm going to catch it immediately. So you're telling me that not 1 million, not 10 million, not 100 million, not $1 billion, but $9 billion mysteriously vanishes in Minnesota and nobody was able to figure this out? The only reason that they was able to figure it out, because y'all keep asking how these politicians get so rich. Tax dollars, nigga. Tax dollars. Over $9 billion. So if it was only a couple bad actors, because listen, ain't no way you getting off 9 Bs. There's no way you're getting off 9 Bs. And nobody notices. And when I say nobody, I'm talking about all the way up to the top. All the way up to the top. You're telling me nobody noticed 9 billion? Bro, do you know what it sounds like to say $100 million? Do you know how much money $100 million is? Bro, you got to go through so many checks and balances. If you go and you get a government contract for 100, 120, $100, 120, whatever, so on and so forth, right? You get if you get a government contract for 120, 300,000, you got to submit all kind of documents, paperwork, all kind of stuff, bro. They make you jump through hoops to get a $80,000 city contract to do some regular shit. You got to go through, do this, go do that. You telling me $9 billion slipped through the cracks and there's no accountability whatsoever. Zero. We're going to find these bad actors. I've learned whenever people start helping you look for something, they're usually the one that took it. Whenever, most of the time that people start helping you look for something, especially if they wind up finding a little bit of it, usually they're the ones that took it or they're the ones that hid it. Even if it's in your house, the nigga that helped you the most find whatever it is that's missing is usually the one that took it. They pointing you in all the wrong directions. Oh, they pointing you in all of the wrong directions, bro. Over $9 billion, and nobody was like, man, yo, we missing 9 B's in here. We missing 9 B's in here. Jesus Christ. You don't think somebody got broke off? You think all of it just went to bad actors? Cars? How do you spend $9 billion? Even if it's 100 of y'all, how do you spend $9 billion? Do you know how hard it is to spend $9 billion? You know how hard it is to move $9 billion electronically? I can't even go to the bank. Bro, I go to the bank and I say, let me get $10,000, right? Because I want to go and tap to the hood and I want to go and give some money away. If I go and ask for 10,000, do you know they make me give my ID? I have to give an explanation. So what kind of company do you, because it's a part of the CSR, right? If you take out more than 10,000, here's a key. I'm going to give it to you for real. If you take out just under 10,000, they get suspicious because they know that you're trying to avoid having to be accountable to this, to submit your money to the CSR. Yeah, it's too much money moving to these accounts, and they're just under the threshold for us to have a CSR that's put off a red flag. We need to know exactly what your business is, and if you can meet with the branch manager. I said, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Well, why did you deposit money into the ATM? Because I just hit on a parlay and the bank was closed on the weekend. It's Sunday, nigga. Okay, well, we just got to make sure that we document it. What do? I own a company, media company. You can't even get off depositing money in the bank without them knowing what the fuck is going on above 10,000. Who? What do you do? Oh, okay, he seemed legit. Okay, all right. He been banking with us for a long time. Okay, all right. He dealt with a lot of cash. Okay, cool. They was able to get off nine B's. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. All of these people is dirty.
Because they didn't want to offend that massive Somali population.
Guy, this to me, if there was ever an investigation to be had, and Republicans were ever going to take time to investigate anything, I would say this would probably be it. And I don't think Minnesota is where it should stop. I think Minnesota is where it should start, because I have a feeling many other states, we could probably uncover some billions with the B. But I know you and I both saw a tweet about this, about just massive welfare fraud in general and SNAP fraud. I mean, it spans a lot of different categories, right? But if you break down the numbers, I think we saw a real staggering one about how much money we're actually being robbed of in this country.
Yeah, I mean, you can go through any of the numbers, actually. Starting just in Minnesota, it seems like what we're hearing from the governor there is, oh, the Republicans are making up numbers. No, this was a federal prosecutor after a very in-depth, substantial investigation into what he called industrial scale fraud in the state of Minnesota, all presided over by Governor Tim Walz. And out of one side of his mouth, Walz is trying to say like, oh, we're going to fix it and it's bad. Out of the other side of his mouth, he's like, well, it's really not that much. It's only tens of millions, according to his little minion there. And that means they are not ever going to be serious about this. They are perfectly comfortable with their taxpayers being robbed blind for political and identity reasons. And he just wants to get reelected next year. So he wants to pretend like this is some sort of GOP witch hunt, when in fact, the prosecutor in this case And we saw a bit in that clip from him. I just want to read one more quote from him, talking about why it is especially bad in Minnesota. Quote, Minnesota has become a magnet for fraud, so much so that we have developed a fraud tourism industry. People coming to our state purely to exploit and defraud its programs. This is a deeply unsettling reality all Minnesotans should understand. It is so bad in Minnesota that people from around the world, it seems, are traveling there to steal from taxpayers. And that's the response we're seeing from the governors.
That's wild, bro.
You know, Joey, we invite the third world, and in return, they rob us blind. But that's such a nice, generous gift they've given back to us. I mean, Tim Walz has made a big thing about, don't say it's the Somalis. But when you look at the fraud, it was done by the Somali population. So he wants to make it about race. He wants to make it about identity. The mayor there wants to eat Somali food and almost throw up and say, I love the Somalis.
Yo. listen. Do you know why? Two things, and then we're going to move over to the next subject. The first thing is this. The biggest finesse that you can never do, and we learned this from Black Lives Matters, is to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, or anything related to programs that keep our community safer, that do not go directly to police officers and public safety. The biggest finesses is anything politically motivated to make sure that they give any kind of insight to diversity, equity, and inclusion, feeding the children. I have a friend that asked me, they said, if you got like a free $1 billion, let's say that you won the lottery where it'd be getting above $1 billion or whatever. And they said, what would you do? And I said, I would create my own environments that allowed for me to directly give to people. I said, I would give 95% of it away. And they said, who would you give it to? I said, I would have to start my own thing and not have anybody oversee it except for one person. And I would give it directly to the people. And they said, well, wouldn't you want to give it to this organization? This organization has a nice ring to it. And I said, absolutely not. 100% not. This is 98, 99% of the money goes towards administrative cost building, salaries, funding, stealing, and all of this stuff. And only 1 to 3% of the money actually goes towards the cause itself. Absolutely not. Because I know it's people that start nonprofits to get rich all the time. It would have to go directly towards the contribution of certain things. It would have to. 100%. 100% it would have to. I don't actually play the lottery. I don't know, maybe I will one day or two. I played it before. I think I played it like 4 times in my entire life. But absolutely not. Absolutely. I would never, ever give that money over to that because there is so much fraud and abuse and waste and all of that. It's so evil. It's so evil, bro. The second thing that I want to emphasize to y'all is the reason why I don't have a lot of ethnic friends that I'll hang out with is because I don't want to eat y'all food. Yeah, the older I get and the more settled I become in who I am and what I stand for, I'm not interested in eating your food, your Indian street food. I don't want to eat your Somali curry, whatever you got. The goop, I don't want to eat goop. I can't hang out with my ethnic friends because you're not about to have me eating bullshit and calling it good. I don't want to offend you, and I don't want to go and hang out to where I start eating your food. I'm not interested. I don't want to smell like curry when I come home. I'm straight. I'm being real. Listen. Okay, cool. I'm going to say the things that other people don't say because they don't feel like it's politically correct. I am not interested in eating your food. Somebody said Jamaican food is the best. I disagree. I 100% disagree, especially And I really don't like y'all know how I feel about African food too. Indian food, Somali food, African food. What's some other Africans that got a restaurant near my building? It's called what are they? What kind of what are they? Nigerian food. Fuck no. Hell no. No. Never. Ever. 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 And I'm not gonna name the restaurant because I realize that I got reach. But I'm not eating Nigerian food. You can forget it, nigga. Y'all keep eating that goop. I'm straight. Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Not doing it. No. You can forget it. Listen. I love y'all and I love all my bag chasers everywhere, all across the globe. I'm not eating your food. I don't want it. I don't. Now there is some food that I like. I love Japanese food. I had a great time eating Japanese food. And there's some other food that I like. I like a lot of Asian food and stuff like that. I like Italian. I love Italian food. Mexican food. Shout out to my Mexicans. I think that Mexicans do a phenomenal job. Love Mexican food. But some of y'all food, I'm not fucking with it. I'm not, bro. You can forget it. That's why, no, I'm not eating Ubuntu food. That's why, I can never be a foodie. You got to know where your content lie. Everybody can't do the same content. I could never be a foodie because I'm not trying that bullshit. No. Nope. Leave me out of it. Leave me out of it. I'm just being honest with you. I'm just being honest. I don't want no kanji. I want nothing with 3 E's in it. I want none of that shit. You can keep it, bro. I'm not eating Ubuntu food. You can forget it. Nope. I don't want it. I don't want it. And let me also say this. I'm only eating some Asian food here in America. I don't even want to eat it in your country sometimes. I don't want Chinese food in China. I don't, bro. I'm not interested. I want Chinese. I want the Americanized version of China. I want the American version of Chinese food. You know what I'm saying? I want Kung Pao chicken and sesame. No, that's for Friday. Sesame chicken. I want General Chow's chicken. I want orange chicken. I want P.F. Chang type food. You keep that Chinese shit over where China is at. Give a fuck about what you talking about, bro. Nope. I don't want Chinese food in China. I want American version of Chinese food. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Give me a fortune cookie and we good to go. Cool, bro. I'm cool. All of that other stuff, we good. All right, let me get back to normal. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. What's up to my baby Aaliyah? Says hi, AD. Happy to catch you this morning. How are you doing today? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing incredible. I can't lie. I think that God loves me. Let me see what's going on. Oh shit! It's the 22nd. Day after the 21st. It's YouTube day. Payday, baby. Payday. Yeah. It's payday today. That means all of my friends get paid today. They just got a Christmas check. It's payday, boy. Yes, it is. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hey. Everybody keep telling me, nah, man, fuck YouTube. Nah, nigga, I love YouTube. YouTube is my best friend. What are you talking about? Mind the business that pays you. I don't know what you talking about. Mind the business that pays you. I don't know what y'all talking about. Your car says, when do I start getting the Christmas bonus? Yo, your car makes so much fucking money. I'm not talking to your car right now. I would never even show you because you would throw up. Somebody said how much? I wouldn't show you because you would throw up. You would throw the fuck up. You wouldn't believe me if I told you how much money that I make. You would never believe me. You would never believe me if I told you how much money that I make. You would never believe it. You couldn't fathom it. It would blow your fucking mind. It would blow your mind if you knew what my deposits were, bro. It's out of control. It is insane. It's insane. It's insane, bro. I'm not doing it no more. I'm not showing no more accounts outside of I'm not showing no more accounts outside of Patreon. And I'm working feverishly. When I get back, I'm actually uploading the videos to something. I don't want to just have it as I don't want to do it the way that I'm doing it. I need to make. Here, let me show you what my account look like. So you can y'all can stop asking me for money, and then I can move over to the next part of the show. That's my account. All right. All right. So that's my account. Don't ask me for shit. I ain't got shit. Don't ask me for nothing. I ain't got nothing. They took my last dollar. I'm trying to figure out how to get it back. Don't ask me for nothing. I ain't got nothing for you. Nothing for you. All right. Broke, baby. I'm broke, baby. I'm broke, baby. I like your picture. What you mean take your picture down? I like your picture, Aaliyah. You inspire me. You look good. You was looking great on a Monday. Are you coming on tonight? Chris Cunningham says, you see how the Democrats play it off. Oh, it's just a little bit of fraud. See, and what they pay me that little bit, that ain't nothing compared to what they stealing over there in Minnesota. Hey, call my phone right quick. I missed a lot. Tabitha says Minnesota's account managers need to be investigated. He was almost the vice president of these United States. He needs to go under the jail. Yeah. You know what's crazy? The brick lady is a Somali. She is. Who came to Houston from Minnesota. She really is. I forgot about that. Shout out to you, Solution Trucking Channel. Jay Brin says the diaspora would like to have a word with you, sir. 1999 Red Nose says their food sets your ass on fire. I wouldn't know. Aaliyah says Goop is funny as F. Anton, I promise I won't steer you wrong with Trinidadian food. What is Trinidadian food? I don't even know what it is. What is Trini food? Y'all got to tell me what Trini food is. Mr. Lott says name names. Went to India for a business trip. I would never go to India for a business trip. Ate the food there. I prayed to God to shorten the trip. Had me on the toilet for a whole week, says Brian the filmmaker. I would just be fasting. I would just fast. Chris Park says, I'm sure you've already done it, but how do you plan strategize for your business? Do you set goals, milestones for your team as well as the business? How do you determine what your goal is? Well, it depends. It depends. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll do a live stream about that. And after Christmas live stream, I'm writing it down right now. Give me a second. I got you, Chris. I got you, Chris. I got you, Chris. Chris Park says, shout out to your car. You appreciate it, sir. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon links in the description. Y'all don't want a fried baboon leg. Or maybe we could eat some new dog. Shit. I couldn't do it, bro. I just can't do it. I ain't built like that. I don't have it in me. Let's get into the Epstein stuff. They said Bill Clinton responded about the whole Epstein situation because Bill, he been in the news lately. They saying that Bill Clinton should address the photos. So y'all know 300 photos was released, or 300,000 files. They say 300,000 files was released about the Epstein situation.
Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia. Senator Kaine, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Good to be with you, Kristen. Thanks.
It's great to have you. Thank you so much for being here. I do want to start by getting your reaction to what you just heard from Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. He says the delay in releasing all the documents was necessary to conduct a thorough review to protect the survivors, he says. Do you trust that the Department of Justice is complying with the law here?
I wish I could say yes, but I don't, Kristen. And so let's just review. Jeffrey Epstein was a monster who trafficked underage women. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein knew one another pretty well. The circumstances of that friendship and how it broke up are disputed, but they knew each other. When Donald Trump was president, he put into his cabinet the prosecutor who cut the sweetheart deal with Jeffrey Epstein.
I want to make sure that I'm playing this from both lenses. So you're going to get it on NBC News, and then you're going to get the Fox News version, and then we're going to give our conclusion. So I want to make sure that y'all know why I use multiple sources to compare and contrast.
Back during the Bush administration, he put Alex Acosta in his cabinet. Acosta later had to resign in disgrace. As a candidate, Donald Trump said he would release the Epstein files. As president now in February of 2025, he said, we're going to release the files. And he had this much touted event with Pam Bondi at the White House talking about releasing the files. But then in July, the FBI and DOJ said,
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. He released the files within a year of him actually being in office.
There's nothing to see here. We're not going to release any more files. The statute that we're now talking about was not something that the White House wanted. It was something that a bipartisan Congress did to force Donald Trump's hand, to force him to meet his promises. And so in September, we passed this Transparency Act, forcing the DOJ, kicking and screaming, they didn't want to do it, to release files. So when they actually do release files, and it's a fraction of what's available, and it's heavily redacted, and then a day later they pull material back, the facts that I've just laid out for you show why so many people are really suspicious. All these files need to come out.
Well,
so here's my question again, and I'm going to ask this every time that I see a Democrat use the same talking point. Here's my first question. Why would Trump, A, offer to release the files, even as a candidate, if in any way, shape, or form, he had did something that was crazy in those files? Neither here nor there. Why don't any Democrat talk about Biden? Y'all were in office over the last 4 years, and I know why, but we'll get there. Y'all were in office over the last 4 years. Nobody, and I mean nobody, asked Biden, Kamala Harris, or any Democrat whatsoever to ever release a file. Even a little bit. Not even a smidget. Not even a release. We never, ever had this conversation at all while Biden was in office. We didn't even. We never, ever, 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 ever at any point asked the Biden administration to release anything whatsoever. And as bad as they were after Trump, they could have handpicked some files and was like, hey, listen, this is how Trump was tied to Epstein. They wanted Trump to go down so bad that they was willing to put their best. Letitia James, Fani Willis, they made up some stuff about some files being at Mar-a-Lago and all of this stuff. 100%. Now, the person that we see the most in these files is none other than Bill Clinton, but we'll get there.
Congressman Rowe comment and Thomas Massie, as I was just saying, who led the push to release the files, say they're looking at options including impeachment and contempt for DOJ. Let me ask you about what we have seen released in the Epstein files so far. Former President Bill Clinton is featured prominently in the first batch, as I was just discussing. Now, to be very clear, and
boy, these is blood brothers right there. Brothers from another mother. Whenever you rocking out like this, you brothers from another mother, baby.
ABC News does not know the full context behind these images, and simply being in the Epstein files doesn't imply any criminal wrongdoing. But does Clinton owe the public an explanation about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
You know, I actually haven't tracked what President Clinton has said. And if there are unanswered questions, you know, he should address them, and I suspect he will. But let's just make sure that we meet the promise that President Trump made as a candidate.
I want y'all to see what's happening. She specifically asked him a question and said, should President Clinton answer for the, because Clinton is in that bitch. Like he was in there. He in the pool. He taking pictures with the people. He got a chick that's allegedly sitting on his lap. He got all of this. Why are they deflecting? Why are they deflecting? Clinton is all over that. He was letting niggas take photos, pictures. Wasn't even on camera phones back then. They was taking regular photos. Click, 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 click. And he was like, yo, what up, though? Why is nobody calling for Clinton to speak to this shit? Why is nobody calling this? How is, see, and this is why you can't take Senator Tim Kaine in Virginia, at his word. You can't take him at his word anymore because he just completely deflected from the situation. Let me rewind it for you.
You know, I actually haven't tracked what President Clinton has said.
You haven't tracked what Clinton has said at all. Okay. All right. All right. Cool.
And if there are unanswered questions, you know, he should address them, and I suspect he will. But let's just make sure that we meet the promise that President Trump made as a candidate that all these files will be released. Let's put all the facts and all the material out on the table, and then folks can reach their own judgments about anybody connected with this horrible, horrible case. I led the effort to try to deny Secretary of Labor.
Let's switch over real quick. We want to go over to Fox and get their perspective really quickly.
The Justice Department says it will continue to release more of the Epstein files on a rolling basis, blaming any delays on releasing all of the files on the time-consuming process of obscuring victims' names and other identifying information. For reaction to that and much more, Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson is in Florida covering the president. Hello, Lucas.
Shannon, at least 16 files have disappeared from the Justice Department's website related to Jeffrey Epstein, including a photo of President Donald Trump one day after they were posted. It's photos of a former president that's getting a lot of attention right now. Newly released photos from the Justice Department show Bill Clinton.
Bill is chilling, bro. Bill is chilling. And guess what? Guess what's going to happen to Bill? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Bill Clinton is who they think President Trump is. Bill Clinton is who they trying to paint Trump to be. Bill is really the mafia boss, bro. If we really just want to get into it, Bill Clinton is he big dog. That's big dog. That's the ringleader. That's the kingpin. That's the person that was cutting all of the deals behind the scenes. All of that, bro. Bill Clinton is who they trying to make Trump be. And I don't see nobody, not a Democrat, not a black person, not a white person. I went on TikTok. I rarely go on TikTok unless I'm looking at a video that y'all sent me inside of the, in my email to react to. I went on TikTok, bro, and I just searched and I said, Bill Clinton, Epstein. And I went through and it was hardly no conversations that was being had at the time. This is over the weekend. More importantly, I seen no black people. Zero, zilch, nada. What is our affinity to Bill Clinton? Why do we like Bill so much? Why do we like Bill so much? Don't y'all know that Bill did one of the worst con jobs on the black community ever? We talk about, all of a sudden, we talking about fuck the streets. And that's the thing that's trending with amongst black people. They released the Epstein files, and we still talking about Charlie Kirk. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is having a deep dive about Bill Clinton, and I'm trying to figure out what is wrong with it. What is going on? What is happening? Shit, he was getting head in the White House. They tried to give us Hillary. Where the fuck was Hillary when Bill was over there chilling with Epstein? That's what I want to know. Because you can't tell me that she didn't know. Is she his Ghislaine Maxwell? Why Hillary just rolling with it? You know what I'm saying? She ain't never said nothing. They never had nothing to say. They was just like, skip it. You know what we gonna do though? We gonna try to make you president of the United States of America. Y'all not asking no questions. Y'all not confused. Y'all not trying to figure it out. Y'all not a little bit curious. None of this shit. The only thing that we concerned about is whether or not Trump released him as soon as we wanted him to. So Bill's been over there all of this time, and nobody is tripping about it. No fuck. Bill got mofo. Let me ask y'all another question. Now I'm gonna tie this in, right? I'm gonna tie this in. How come ain't nobody having no conversations about Michael Jackson? I know why. Because you want to be starting something. You want to be starting something. Too high to get over. Too low to get under. Stuck in the middle. You know why? Because you like his music. You know why? Nobody's looking at Michael Jackson and having a conversation and saying, hey, man, this nigga already got accused of being Peter Pan around the kiddies, right? And even though they never said that they convicted him, what is this nigga doing hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein? How was he over there? Why is Mike? Why is white Mike over there? That's not even black Mike. That's white Mike. Why is white Mike over there hanging out with this nigga? Too high to get over. Nobody's having a conversation about Mike. Hey man, why Michael Jackson in all of these photos? We just chilling though. Not a big deal, huh? Wasn't Chris Tucker on? I don't want to accuse him. The fuck is this? What is this? Who is this 2000s rapper? Who is this nigga with the big T? Why is Chris Tucker in the photos? But you know what? They got Trump derangement syndrome. They got Trump. This nigga is at the Clearport. It's a fucking plane in the background. And some random white man, and this nigga is taking a picture right there, hanging out. How come nobody is asking Chris Tucker, hey man, what'd you see on the island? But we got what's the name of the music? I mean, the name of the movie with him and Jackie Chan. If part 4, Rush Hour Part 4 is coming out though. Rush Hour Part 4, guys, is coming out. Rush Hour, distractions. Nobody is asking these niggas a question. Somebody said, how do you know Chris did anything? I didn't say that he did anything. I said I got questions. Y'all only got to get a smidget, a sniff, a whiff. When Megan Thee Stallion accused Tory Lanez, y'all niggas was on it. Where's it at? Where's the gun? We getting actual real photos of these niggas hugged up. Hey, guys, hanging out at the Clearport. And ain't nobody got nothing to say. Everybody is confused all of a sudden. Everybody confused. Don't nobody got no questions at all? What's Mike doing? Why is Bill got the matching shirts? Why has he got matching shirts with Jeffrey Epstein? Bill just off the radar, ain't got nothing to say. Michelle Obama, you got something to say about everything else that happens in the world. Got your own podcast and everything. Got everything to say about everything in the world. Michelle Obama. Her and fucking Craig just keep on interviewing people that ain't got no substance in that stupid ass platform. Kamala Harris is on tour. 107 days of collard greens. Nothing meaningful. Nobody know nothing. Everybody quiet as fuck. Everybody just shut the fuck up, huh? Celebrity after celebrity after celebrity after celebrity after celebrity. And they ain't got nothing to say. Nobody. Obama. Sitting there always going to Michelle. Trying to figure out, got to go to the presidential library and look at this monstrosity. You know, it's just, that's what Obama does. Because nobody got no answers for us. We all just chilling. Everybody confused. Nobody doing a deep dive. Conspiracy theories is over. All right, cool. Well, if that's what we doing, then that's what we doing. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. I mean, if that's what y'all want to do, if this is the play, then shit. Play on, player. If this is what we doing, if we rolling like this, then just don't ask, don't sit here and keep on trying to. When is it gonna release the file? Trump, more file, nigga. What we got files. I want to know. We got 300,000 documents. I want to know what the fuck is in the ones that we already got. Did we go through the ones that we already got before we get some more? We ain't answer no questions for them though, huh? Michelle, because technology and Chicago's favorite son. Fuck out of it. Go do another National Geographic of the Nationals. Do a Geographic. Throw the next pitch. Hey, yeah. Stupid. But we not distracted though. Don't worry about it. We not distracted. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. 1999 Red Nose says, that's what I mean. Their food is too damn spicy. It's like they're trying to hide the taste. Good morning, Mr. Anton Daniels in the Millionaire Morning Show said, peace, Shank. What up, baby? First prediction of 2026, Clinton gets diagnosed with dementia. Well, you know, I told y'all ain't nobody going to jail. I told y'all, no, nothing is going to happen. This is all for our entertainment. Nobody is getting locked up. Nobody going to jail. Nothing is going to happen. Nobody getting canceled. Everybody going to still be doing their speeches. You're wasting your time. They would only care if Trump is implicated. Shout out to Shadow Dragon. Leah said these people are despicable. They didn't get what they wanted on Trump, so they don't care. They give a fuck about victims of nothing. They make me sick. Hillary is gay, says Skinny Boy Night. Y'all think Hillary gay? I wouldn't put it past her. Some old box though. Y'all should add Blink Twice to Frame Fight. You got to tell Slimmy. Slimmy is the one to pick the movies. I just go see him and then talk about him. You know what I'm saying, J Ben? Skinny Boy Night says Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, they don't even have a child together. That's not Bill Clinton's daughter. Talking about Chelsea. Chelsea. Creole King says, the fuck is that? You ain't got no face? What's this? Don't drink the MAGA Kool-Aid. It's got raisins floating around for some reason. I like raisins. I like craisins too. How do they make craisins? Oh shit. It's hot in here. Got to turn down the temperature. What we talking about? Let's see what else is going on. I got to get to some money. We got to talk about some kind of money in this bitch, right? Knife attack, Taylor Swift. California law is going into effect. I want to talk about that. California and San Francisco. I want to talk about California and San Francisco. And then we're going to pivot after that. All right. We're going to pivot more. I got a review video that I want to do after that. Again, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me share my screen.
Glenn and Lou, from the luxury law requiring landlords to provide certain appliances to raising minimum wages. Here's what to know heading into 2026.
Starting January 1st, new laws may impact our everyday lives, from streaming apps to the workplace to grocery stores. One of the most noticeable changes, plastic bags. California is eliminating single-use plastic bags entirely, including the thicker versions. You will need to bring reusable bags or use paper. If you've ever had a problem with food delivery, you know how frustrating that experience can be. In 2026, if an order never arrives or shows up wrong, companies must offer refunds and access to real customer service.
We don't have nothing else better to do. Infrastructure is falling apart. Homeless people is running around. I'm out here in California right now, and I'm laying in the bed last night, honest to God, on everything. I promise you on my daughter's life. I'm sitting there laying in the bed, and the reason why I couldn't sleep is because I kept hearing this woman screaming. And I said, what the fuck is going on out here? What is all of this screaming? And all I kept hearing is, it was like a real scream. It was like a real scream, like a murder scream, like, ah, ah, ah. And that's when I realized, yep, every downtown is pretty much the same. And most downtowns is all going to have some form of homelessness. And La Jolla is like Birmingham, right? La Jolla is like West Bloomfield, Birmingham, and Metro Detroit, Michigan, and Northville. Because this is why I have to come in and see stuff for myself. I'm not just going to believe everything that people just be saying or whatever, right? I need to see stuff for myself. I want to come and experience every part of America. I need to see it. And so I kept hearing, it was a woman like a killer movie scene. First, it was real faint, and I was thinking to myself, that must be the TV, because I had the TV on at first. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? That's outside. So I'll go to the window right there. I go over to the window. This is a mirror right here. So, but his window is all wrapped around. So I go over to this window and I look outside, and it's two homeless people fighting. It's a homeless man fighting, messing around. He doing like this to the woman. And you can tell he was saying something, maybe like, give me my drugs, whatever. I was thinking to myself, all right, well, let me call the police. Call the police. Yep, we're aware of it. They come in, separate them, they go their separate ways. So it was two base heads. It was basically two crackheads that was arguing with each other. And a woman went crazy. And I was thinking to myself, y'all ain't got shit. Now I'm looking at this, because, I'm going to do the responsible thing. I think that most of the people in general in California is almost like numb to it. They're numb to this stuff. They don't think about all of this stuff. They so used to hearing it. So it's not really a big deal to them, but crazy as fucking people. Absolutely. Crazy. Yes. They tried to hide the fact that it was homeless people here in San Diego, but I found them all. Bro, I'm not lying, bro. Bro, I'm riding down the street and I pull up and the nigga just pulled his pants down. Right on the street. I kid you not. He just pulled his pants down. I said, what is going on? He just pulled his pants down. Now, what I wind up showing y'all is him having his pants up. But the point that I'm making is that I just was looking around and said, what the fuck is going on out here? Oh, so this nigga pulled his dick out and he pulled his pants down too. All right. And this nigga's running around in the streets. And this guy just got an umbrella using it as a sword to hit this homeless woman over here. Okay, cool. Got it. Y'all tried to hide it from me. Nope. It's just like everywhere else. The rich people, they're over there overlooking the ocean and the water. And then you get down into the city. And this is where all of the action is. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot to do. Restaurants and all of that. But just like every other fucking place in the United States of America, they got homeless people. It just got good weather. There's crazies, dope fiends, homeless people, buses that don't run, construction that lasts forever, just like everywhere else. So I'm coming over here and I'm looking and I'm like, me, I had to get the Porsche. So I'm riding around in my Porsche 911. It's just shit, just happening everywhere. Just everywhere. You look over, it's a window busted over there in that store. He got his dick out. He pulled his pants down and started yelling at the people. He doing this, he doing that. And it's just wild. Wild everywhere. And I said, well, how come ain't nobody talking about this on the internet? Oh, y'all been protecting this bitch, right? Mm-hmm. Yep, you've been protecting it. You've been protecting everything away from us, and you thought that I wasn't going to find it, but I'm on a mission to talk about everything that happens in the United States of America. But they over here talking about, I want to talk to a real person and running out all of the businesses and making sure that they remove the bags because we have to protect the turtles. So I will be, again, I'm going to be dropping all of these vlogs after I get everything ported over. And I'm working feverishly to get all of this stuff ported over. But somebody said, why you downsized from the nice spot? It looked amazing. Because first of all, I'm more of a hotel type person. You know what I'm saying? So I got the whole hotel shebang. You know what I'm saying? Got the whole setup. I was laying in the bed. Got the bathroom in there. Got the other part that you can walk over through there and all of that shit. So I'm more of a hotel type of person anywhere. I like room service. You know what I'm saying? I like valet. I like all of that. But I mix it up. You know what I'm saying? You go to the suburbs. You go to La Jolla to see it over there because you got to experience it. And then you got to go down into the city, in the downtown. You go to the gas lamp quarter. You come and view all of that. Or you go, and then you go over to, I went over to an Indian reservation. You know what I'm saying? I drove through that. I said, what the hell is happening over here? Yes, I did. I went over to an Indian reservation. Yes, I did. 30 miles away. Went up there, seen how they was living. Seen a snow bunny walking down the street almost naked. I said, the red lamp quarter, is that what it's called? Okay. Whatever it's called. That's what I've been doing. Somebody said, make your bed. Why would I make my bed and I got room service? As soon as I get off this motherfucker, I'm going to get something to eat, and the room service is going to come make up my bed for me. That's why I pay the big dollars, okay? So anyways, I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. 100%. Somebody said Indian reservation is a funny way to say casino. No, wasn't really interested in going to the casino, but I realized that there was a lot of reservations that was around here, and I wanted to see if the Indian reservations are similar to what we experience in East China, Michigan, because I'm familiar with what's going on up there, and I know that the reservations in some of these places be fucked up, and they got a fentanyl crisis over there, and they got alcoholism. So I actually want to go see. Some of you are not familiar with my earlier content, right? Some of y'all don't know that the way that my first viral videos on YouTube was urban exploration. I love to find out what the fuck is happening in America, and I like to see what's happening with the architecture, and I want to see, well, how people are living over here. And that's what I do. I go and I explore the world. I need to see it. I need to see it for myself so that when I speak about certain things on these platforms, I really seen it with my own eyes. You can't sell me on nothing that I haven't already seen. I go and see it for myself. Oh man, I got some footage that listen. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, you need to join the Patreon, because when I get back home, the Gas Lamp District, that's what it's called. Yep. Shout out to you, KBs, the Gas Lamp District. I need to see it. I got footage. I got so much footage on this thing. It's going to be crazy what I'll be dropping on the Patreon. I'm not dropping nothing else. Nothing else for the general public. I'm only dropping it on the Patreon. But I need to see stuff for myself. But I think that they're wasting their time. They're wasting their time on stuff that don't even matter, bro.
Apps will also have to clearly show how much drivers are paid, including tips and bonuses. Streaming services will face new limits as well. Ads won't be allowed to play louder than the shows or movies you're watching. It's similar to rules already in place for traditional television. Car buyers will see changes at used car dealerships. Dealers must clearly disclose the full price of a vehicle, limit extra fees, and in some cases, allow buyers to return a car within 3 days. The statewide minimum wage is going up again to nearly $17 an hour. A new law also limits
minimum wage is $17 an hour. Minimum wage is $17 an hour. What in heaven's name? That's why y'all gas prices are so high. I went to the gas pump the other day and that shit said $6. $6 for gas? What y'all smoking on over here? For gas? $6.
contracts which require employees to repay training or relocation costs if they leave a job. There are also changes specific to Los Angeles. In the city of LA, minimum wage for hotel workers goes up to nearly $25 an hour. In unincorporated LA County, hotels will be required.
Minimum wage for hotel workers is what?
In the city of LA, minimum wage for hotel workers goes up to nearly $25 an hour.
It's over. It's over. Business owners, get the fuck up out of here, bro. This is why I can't live here, man. This is why I visit, but I'm not looking. LA is great to visit. It is, I mean, not even LA. California. California is great to visit. It is not a place for you to invest in. California is a great place to visit. It is not a place for you to invest in. No. Nope. 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 It's just going down the drain. Gavin Newsom is leaving his legacy, and it is a hell of a legacy.
Unincorporated LA County, hotels will be required to provide panic buttons and added safety protections for workers. Rent-controlled units in the city of LA face tighter limits on annual increases, and statewide, landlords must now provide working refrigerators and stoves as part of a rental unit.
Couple more things of note. Declawing cats will be illegal statewide unless
Declawing cats will be illegal statewide. Y'all really propose that as a law? Who lobbied for declawing cats?
the procedure is medically necessary. And already in California, you can no longer drive solo in the Diamond Lane with an EV. Most of these new laws take effect January 1st, with some rolling out later in the year. Glenn and Lou, that EV grace period is already over. So
new laws in California is insane. But also, hold on. Let me see something.
Where instead of the typical fog blanketing the city, it was miles of darkness.
Looks dystopian, like a Hollywood movie.
A massive power outage Saturday left some 130,000 PG&E customers, about 30% of their users across the city, without power for hours. This map showing just how widespread the outage spanned.
We're like, oh my God. And when we find out later and later, most of the things that we planned were canceled.
The blackout forcing restaurants and businesses to close on one of the busiest holiday shopping weekends of the year.
Like, San Francisco, are you okay?
On the streets, chaos and congestion.
Oh no, this Waymo. That's what I heard. I heard that the Waymo vehicles was completely out of whack and shut down, and they was actually shutting down the streets because the vehicles didn't know what to do now that there wasn't no electricity and there wasn't no stoplights that was available. So all of the Waymo vehicles just stopped working. Beauty of technology.
Videos show multiple.
When you don't have infrastructure to support it.
Waymo self-driving cars stalling at dark intersections.
The Waymos are stuck.
Unclear how to navigate the down traffic lights. Waymo temporarily suspending its operations, saying we are focused on keeping our riders safe and ensuring emergency personnel have the clear access they need to do their work. The fire department says at least some of the outages were because of a fire that broke out inside this PG&E substation.
I can say that this is a contributing factor to the lights out in the area, stoplights and lights out in the businesses.
But the full cause still under investigation. PG&E saying the damage from the fire is extensive and that the repairs and safe restoration will be complex, but not yet explaining how they believe this happened. A blackout dimming Christmas cheer in the Golden City.
That's messed up.
This happened. A blackout.
That's really messed up. So they had a blackout over in San Francisco, as well as some new implementation of laws right before Gavin Newsom decides that he wants to leave and he wants to turn. Gavin Newsom actually wants to turn America into California. Gavin Newsom wants to turn America into California. And we don't have the infrastructure. What we should have been investing in is infrastructure instead of investing in social services. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats, and then I want to get to one more reaction video. T. Sam says Californians need 100% tariff when they move. Facts. Skinny Boy Knight says Valero and Chevron is leaving California and Newsom is cool with it. Anthony, I appreciate you, Anthony, for the super sticker. Cynthia Haynes says, good afternoon, AD. I desperately need your help. I have some families here in Flint, Michigan, living without water in a condemned apartment building. I need to send you some of my videos. I love you and Merry Christmas. What? So what you want me to do? You want me to come up to Flint? All right. Send it to me. Email me and I'll check it out. I like that vlog where you went through that abandoned stadium. It felt like that Will Smith movie, I Am Legend. That was early days. That was my first viral video. That was my first 700,000. A lot of people don't know that. Like some people will say, like, you got the Tasha K's and stuff like that. And shout out to Tasha K. She didn't know any better. My first early My first viral video. Very, 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 very first one was that one. 8 years ago. 8 years ago. That was my first viral video. 8 years ago. That one right there. That was it. And so a lot of people don't know the history of Anton from AntonDaniels.com, but the history is there. That was the very first one. The very, 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 very first one. Young to 8 years ago. Yep. I was 34. My first viral video was 34. So I've been getting money on YouTube for a long time. A lot of people don't know that. Getting money on the tube for a long time, baby. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. This was the old Pontiac Silverdome. I was the last person to explore the Pontiac built Silverdome. And that was where the Detroit Lions used to play before they moved back into the city. So now the Lions play at Ford Field. Now they play at Ford Field, and that was the Pontiac Silverdome. So before they actually tore down the Pontiac Silverdome, the roof had collapsed, right? The roof had collapsed, and now it is an Amazon facility. Yep. It is an Amazon facility. Yep. So before all of the interviews and the live streams and stuff like that, that's where I was at. I was in the Pontiac. I did a lot of urban exploration videos, though. I had a lot of viral urban exploration videos. I explored the Packard plant. I explored a lot of places that's torn down now. I was everywhere. I was all over the United States of America. So, yep. Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant in that building. That is correct. That is correct. A lot of people just now discovering me. Let me see something. It's so tripped out looking at a lot of these older videos that I explored. Wow. I was doing a whole series. Flint 2018. Shit. $7 years ago. Did everybody forget about Flint? It's crazy. Crazy. I was driving a Lexus back then too. Yeah, man. It was different. Yeah. Yep. Yes, man. I was all up in Flint 7-8 years ago. When everybody left Flint, I was still up there documenting it, capturing it, talking to the politicians and all of that stuff, bro. Been exploring this entire country since forever. Yeah, man. Hold on. It was one more. CNBC Money. I think that was what it was. CNBC Money. Was it? CNBC make it. Was it make? Chick said she lived off of $53,000 a year. Yeah, somebody said they wanted me to react to this, so make sure y'all hit a like.
I'm not ready to set my sights on a capital C career. I look around and I see so many people who have a big career and they're so unhappy. I feel like with my little C career and my little life that I have, I feel like I get so much more meaning and fulfillment on a day-to-day basis. My name is Eileen Tyrrell. I'm 26 years old and I live in New York City on $53K a year. New York just has an energy to it that I don't know if I've experienced anywhere else. Just feels electric when you're walking around.
I commute into Brooklyn every day.
I am the store manager at the bookstore, and from that I make $45,000 a year. The remaining $8,000 comes from side jobs, primarily freelance writing. I also do pet sitting, and now I'm making money from TikTok.
Spend the day with me as a normal person living in New York on about $50K a year.
I want to show people that you don't need to be making six figures to have a good life in New York. It does feel very romantic, and just getting to be around books all day long and getting to talk to customers about books and shelve books and see what new books are coming out is a very special job. It's the kind of job that maybe you wanted when you were a little kid and then you grew up and you had to be funneled.
Somebody said, so she's basically poor. I don't think so. I keep saying, amidst all of these conversations where people are saying that if you're making $120,000, you just slightly below. We did the video where the guy said that if you make under $150,000 a year, you basically, that's the threshold for poverty. I keep seeing all of these people saying $100,000 don't stretch. That ain't no money no more and all of that. I call bullshit. I've been calling bullshit the whole time. I've been calling BS the whole time. I don't think you're poor if you make, we are spoiled here in the United States of America. We are super duper 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 spoiled here in the United States of America. Everybody keep trying to convince me that you have to make $190 million a year in order to be successful in the United States of America. And I disagree. I fundamentally disagree. I don't think that you have to make that type of money in order to be successful. You can't convince me, bro. You can't convince me. But let me see the rest of the video.
Into the corporate pipeline or whatever. Budgeting in New York can be hard. I make $53,000 a year, and people ask me all the time how it's possible to live here on that income. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's hard, but it's so worth it. Once or twice a week, I'll meal prep multiple meals, and that will be my lunch for work. It's okay that I'm living on.
What do you mean once or twice a week you meal prep?
On this tight budget. For me, it comes down to three things. I don't have a lot of debt. I have very reasonable rent, and I don't spend a lot of money.
All right, so let me go off of this. She spent $531 a month in food and going and buying groceries and dining out. And it's just her. It's not like she got a family. She spent $1,500 a month in rent, which I think is crazy. I think spending $1,500 a month in rent is crazy. Student debt repayment is only $50. And see, that's where it started to kill you. She probably on an income-based repayment plan, but debt will kill you. Debt is always the thing that kills you. Most people, the reason why their budget is so messed up is because they have to pay a car note. The number one thing that actually, let me tell you the three things that absolutely destroy you. The three things that destroy you and why most people say that they can't live off of this amount of money, right? The first thing is that people usually have a high car note. With high car notes also come gas, comes insurance, comes maintenance, it comes parking. If you actually live in New York City, you have to pay to park. So having a car is not necessary a lot of times when you live, work, and play all in the same area, or you have strong public transportation options. If I didn't want a car, I wouldn't have to have a car. I could literally go without having a car altogether. Your car keeps you poor a lot of times. Cars keep you poor. I'm going to say it again. Cars keep you poor. That's number one. The second thing that kills people is debt. Debt is the enemy of wealth, and it prohibits you from being able to do what you want to do. And it makes it seem like, oh, I can't afford to live. No, it's because you're paying these high-ass credit cards. You're paying these high-ass student loans that you didn't have to get. And you're paying whatever it else that you have going on in debt that then goes over to the bank. Debt and your car note is the first two things. The third thing is we trick. We trick off on food. We trick off on hoes. We trick off on all of this other stuff. And so when we say survival, because the world sees survival differently, is the basic needs and minimum, what you need to live and survive. When you say, what do you need? It's much different than the things that you want or the luxury purchases that you make or all of that other type of stuff. Way different. It's completely different. She spent $100 on memberships and subscriptions. She spent student debt, rent, discretionary, insurance, transportation. She put $93 in savings, and she spent $531 in food. I don't know what discretionary means. I don't even know. I don't know what that goes into. You know what I'm saying? Insurance, health and renter's insurance. Okay. Utilities, $312 in utilities. What do you mean $312 in utilities? Honestly, if you get rid of any debt and she get a roommate or she live cheaply, a lot cheaper, I don't see it the same way everybody. Now everybody is saying that she needs to make triple. So you need to make $160,000 in order to be able to survive. So what would you do with the other 100? What would you do? What do you need? What do you need the other 100? Need, not want, not nice to have. What do you need the other 100 for? That's my whole point.
This is one of my staple meals. Ate so many of these that the dentist told me I had 5 cavities. My parents pay for my phone bill. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Other than that, I pay for everything myself. However, I do have the safety net of knowing that they would be able to help me if something were to go wrong.
She could just go home. She's choosing to live this life. She could go home. According to what she's saying, she's out here doing what she want to do because she want to do it. If she wanted to, she could go home. She could go home, and guess what she could do? Pay off all of her student loans, pay off any debt that she may have, and be living a phenomenal fucking life. You can't, somebody says she's leeching off of her parents. You can't leech off of your parents. They're your parents. There's no such thing as leeching off of your parents. That's what we have to get out of our mind. It's group economics. It's group economics. Unless my daughter get married, she will always be dependent on her father. I'm her father. I'm supposed to take care of my daughter, even when she's grown. She's mine. You can't leech on your parents. They're your parents. Come on, man. Come on. Focus. All right, I'm a little tired of this guy. He's been kind of getting on my nerve a little bit, so we're going to move on from him.
My go-to meal, honestly, when I don't want to spend a lot of money. I have about $3,000 in student loans, so my monthly payment is very manageable. I pay off my credit cards every month. I have 2 of them, and I have a lot of money. I have about $3,000 in student loans.
Oh, so this is not even an income-based repayment. She can get rid of that. Look, check it out. She choosing to pay $50 a month on her student loans and giving interest over to the bank instead of going home for 6 months to a year, paying off her student loans completely, and then being completely free from that shit.
So my monthly payment is very manageable. I pay off my credit cards every month. I have 2 of them, and I will not let them roll over. I think my parents, and specifically my dad, instilled such a fear in me of credit card debt that it feels sacrilegious to ever let payments accumulate. I pay $15.66 a month in rent. That does not include utilities. I live with 2 roommates, so that is a lot to pay to have 2 roommates, but for Manhattan, that is a good deal. I just don't really.
She's choosing to live in Manhattan. She's choosing to live in Manhattan. She could move further out if she wanted to. She could move to another borough if she wanted to. She's choosing to be right in the middle, in the thick of things. And so all of this, and she only making $53,000 a year, is a lifestyle choice.
Spend a lot of money. I don't buy a lot of things. All of my furniture and most of my possessions are things that I either brought with me from college or are hand-me-downs that friends gave me. This puffer, someone left it at a party at my friend's house. So this jacket was free. I kind of had to train myself to find hobbies and interests that weren't related to spending money. That really helps when you're living on this type of budget. I try to keep my dining out expenses low because that adds up very quickly. However, I get a bacon, egg, and cheese from my local deli probably once or twice a week. Can I do a bacon, egg, and cheese on a toasted everything bagel? There are a couple expenses that I don't really stress about. The first one is buying coffee every day. Going to a coffee shop and having a face-to-face interaction is so underrated. Just a drip coffee with half and half. It's honestly a highlight of my day. It's absolutely worth the $4.50 that I pay for my coffee every day. I think the idea that we should be sacrificing these little expenses for the sake of an extra $20, $30 a week. That's an idea that I struggle with because I think sometimes those little expenses are tied to a sense of community and a sense of greater purpose. I donate about $100 of my monthly budget to various organizations. I want to give back to a city that gives me.
She doing what she want to do. She can live with her parents. She can move to somewhere cheaper. She can do all of this stuff. She's doing all of this, and she's only doing it on $53,000 a year. And I don't have any problem with her choosing to do whatever she want to do because she still has the safety net of her parents, and she a girl, and girls do what they want to do. She's doing what she want to do, and she don't even care. She winging it. She ain't tripping off of none of this.
So much. I try to focus on local organizations.
She work at a bookstore,
food banks, and mutual aid, stuff like that. I have thought about the risks of living with this little in savings. And to me, at this moment in time, it's worth it. I'm comfortable taking that risk and hoping that things are going to work out further down the line. A lot of people might view that as naive or financially irresponsible, and that's okay. I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, and I studied civil engineering at Iowa State University.
Meaning that she can make way more money if she wanted to. She could have made way more money if she wanted to. She could have. She absolutely could have made way more money. She could have been a civil engineer. She chose to work at a bookstore, which shows you how privileged we are in the United States of America to choose to live in Manhattan and work at a bookstore.
But about 2 years into my degree, I remembered that I'm not really a math and science person. I'm more of a language person. I love books. I love reading and writing. At that point, I was already halfway through the program, and so I figured I would just stick it out because I had taken way too many math classes at that point to give up. I started to develop a backup plan because I knew that once I graduated, I was probably not going to be pursuing a full-time career in engineering. Once I graduated, I was ready for something else. I was ready to try living somewhere that I had never.
So she went to college. She don't even have no student loan debt outside of $3,000. Grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. Chose to live in New York City and work at a bookstore, even though she has a civil engineering degree. That summarizes it.
Never lived before. When I moved to New York, I had about $3,000 in savings. That was after I had paid for the moving truck and for my first month of rent and the security deposit.
These are going to be so good.
I knew I obviously needed a job. Hi. I did apply to a couple of engineering jobs, and I actually got an offer. It was $67,000 a year.
Thank you.
I thought about it, and I ultimately turned it down.
So she didn't want to actually start off, get the experience, ultimately grow her salary to probably well over $130,000, $140,000 a year. Start off at the ground floor, way above almost $70,000, way above the $45,000 she make at the bookstore, plus whatever hustle she got going on. She's choosing to forego at least $22,000 a year minimum. That's the base, and that's what she got her degree in. She's choosing to forego an additional $22,000 a year. So when y'all say that y'all would rather make $120,000 working from home than $240,000 going into the office, I actually believe y'all.
I had just made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to take a job just because it felt like the natural step or the expected thing from me. I wanted a job that filled my cup every day. I didn't want a job that was going to require me to sit at a desk and do work that ultimately wasn't meaningful to me. It was from that decision that I ended up first working in a bookstore. I always kind of pictured it as more of a stopgap job, but I just fell in love with it. I didn't expect it to expand into what is now my full-time job, but that's how things go, I guess. You never know what's right around the corner. I'm pretty content with my life. At the moment, I'm not yearning for anything else. I have a job that I love. I have a life that I love. And the financial stability is not quite there.
So when y'all sit here and tell me about how y'all struggling and all of this stuff, I don't believe you. I think that y'all just privileged. I don't believe you. I just think that y'all just privileged. I truly believe that y'all are just privileged people. Y'all choose the path that y'all make. And I'm not tripping about it because she not hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? She didn't say that she was on social services or nothing. I just don't believe it when y'all sit here and say, A, that it take y'all $150,000 to survive, and B, that you're struggling and that it's the system's fault when you have all the opportunity in the world and you choose to work at a bookstore. I just don't believe it. I just don't. And then y'all sit here and say, oh, I want to make $27 an hour at McDonald's. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. P. Rothstein says, I found you because I was in Pontiac, Michigan working and on YouTube, and I heard them implode the Silverdome in a few weeks, maybe a few days, maybe a week later, you made that video. The video was already up before the implosion. Video was already up. I had that video up the next day after I had explored it. Question, AD, what do you think it was that made that video go viral? Have no idea. No idea whatsoever. Before they even knew that they was tearing it down. That's what I tell people a lot of times is that you can't predict viral videos. Nothing that you know, like you just got to work. And when you work and you are original, let me say that, because you can take bits and pieces from different people as far as clues, but you don't want to just copy exactly word for word everything that they do. But when you work and you're original, eventually, you know, whatever it is that go viral, it's not going to be what you plan. It's going to be whatever it is that you're passionate about. 80, thank you for shout out to Castro for switching to this early schedule show. Helps me get to the bag earlier in the day. Love and respects, big bro. Love and respect to you too, family. Quasar says you were born for content, bro. I love it, man. I think so. I think that this is my calling. AD taking over a cookie route full time and can use some advice. A cookie route full time and can use some advice on steps to make it successful as the last owner did. What is a cookie route? Did you ask the last owner exactly what they did? Send me an email. Make sure you hit me up. Send me an email at antondaniels413@gmail.com. I need some more insight into that. All right. All right, y'all. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Got the Q show tonight, and we're going to get it popping. I'm gonna see y'all tonight. Peace.